Douluo, starting with a 9-curve vine dragon. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 1, Marrow Cleansing Sutra. In the morning, the sky is bright. The manor was shrouded in mist, floating everywhere, making it seem like a fairyland that was unreal. On both sides of the street, rows of green plants have sprouted new buds at some point. The new buds are green in color, and appear to be full of life in this early spring season. Tick on spring nights, cold dew drops from the tips of green leaves into the dust, silently moistening the soil in the forest. Deep in the manor, between two banyan trees, there is a 3-story wooden house. The ancient exterior walls are covered with green vines, exuding the charm of time and vitality. On the second floor, near the window, there was a young child sitting cross-legged on the bed. The child was about 6 years old, wearing a moon-white pajamas and robe, with long black hair casually draped behind his head. He had a childish and pretty face, and was sitting barefoot on the bed with his eyes closed in meditation. After a few breaths, the sound of light footsteps was faintly heard outside the door. Click, the wooden door was pushed open. "Your Excellency the Duke, the martial spirit awakening ceremony is ready. Please change your clothes." The voice was old and steady. The child opened his eyes and looked forward. In front of me, there was an old man in a black robe with a ruddy complexion, gray hair and beard. In his hands he held a tray, on which was placed a complete set of sky blue silk robes. Seeing this, the child nodded slightly, and then said helplessly, "Grandpa Yu, didn't I tell you, when there are outsiders around, you call me Your Excellency the Duke and I call you Uncle Yu. When there are no outsiders around, you call me Young Master and I call you Grandpa Yu? How come you forgot again? Haha." Upon hearing this, the old man in black robe smiled gently and explained, "Young Master, there are 2 important events today. One is your 6th birthday, and the other is the awakening of your martial spirit. I am the steward of the Duke's mansion, and you are the Duke of the Duke's mansion. It is reasonable for me to call you the Duke." As he spoke, the old man in black robe walked to the bedside and helped the child change his clothes. The boy's surname is Lin, which means Rong. He is the owner of this manor, Lin's Duke's mansion. The old man in black robe is the housekeeper of the Duke's mansion, named Yu Yuan. The Lin family has a distinguished family background and is the hereditary Duke of the Sky Dou Empire. The family inherited martial spirit. Dragon Soul Vine is a top-level plant-based martial spirit. A top-level martial soul must be accompanied by innate soul power, and the minimum level will not be lower than level 5, and level 7 or 8 also often appear. Therefore, every 2 or 3 generations, the Lin family will produce a soul Douluo. The most recent soul Douluo of the Lin family is Lin Rong's biological grandfather, whose soul power is as high as level 85, but his grandfather had passed away before he was born. Thus, the title of Duke of Lin family was inherited by Lin Rong's father. However, his father encountered a beast tide while hunting soul beasts and unfortunately died. Fortunately, Lin Rong's mother was able to escape the disaster because she stayed in the Duke's mansion to take care of her baby while pregnant with him, and because his father passed away, he automatically inherited the hereditary dukeship of the Lin family before he was born. Finally, his mother was depressed during her pregnancy because her husband left, which made her sick. Not long after giving birth to him, she went to the underworld to be with his father. At this point, Lin Rong was the only one left in the Lin family. Fortunately, the old butler Yu Yuan was loyal to his duties. He not only managed all the affairs of the Duke's mansion, but also personally raised the young master Lin Rong. The Lin family has a long heritage and owns many businesses, but no one has taken advantage of the Lin family's low point to seize the family business. The reason for all this is that Lin's old butler Yu Yuan is also a powerful soul Douluo. Even though Lin Rong, the current Duke of Lin's, is still young, no one dares to offend him. "Grandpa Yu." Lin Rong sat upright on the bed, looked down at the old housekeeper, and asked softly, "What kind of martial spirit do you think I will awaken?" "The spirit is inherited from parents." The old butler kept moving his hands, putting on shoes and socks for the young master, and answered in a gentle and unhurried tone, "Your parents' inherited martial spirits are Dragon Soul Vine and Thousand Leaf Banyan respectively. The former is a top-level martial spirit, and the latter is a high-level martial spirit. In the inheritance of martial spirits, only the strong are respected. Therefore, if nothing unexpected happens, the young master will awaken the Dragon Soul Vine. Of course, the quality of Dragon Soul Vine and Thousand Leaf Banyan is not much different, and they meet the requirements for awakening twin martial souls. Therefore, it is possible for the young master to awaken both Dragon Soul Vine and Thousand Leaf Banyan at the same time. Twin martial spirits? Is that all? Lin Rong narrowed his eyes and thought, that's right. Unless you awaken a mutant martial soul, twin martial souls are indeed the best solution. Moreover, most of the mutated martial spirits are malignant mutations, and only a very small number are benign mutations. The lower the quality of the martial spirit, the lower the probability of malignant mutation. The higher the quality of the martial spirit, the lower the probability of benign mutation. But I have practiced a Marrow Cleansing Sutra, and perhaps my martial soul may undergo a benign mutation. The Zisa Sutra is one of the many scriptures of the Blue Star Dragon Kingdom. Lin Rong knew about the Zisa Sutra, so he was naturally not from this world, but a time traveler. In addition to reading novels, I also enjoy rock climbing in the wild. The reason for the crossing was that he accidentally fell during a rock climbing trip, and then his eyes went black and he lost consciousness. When Lin Rong regained consciousness, he became a fetus. The fetus was less than a month old, so his consciousness was extremely weak and he was in a deep sleep for more than 11 hours out of the 12 hours a day. When I am awake, I occasionally hear some vague words, which I cannot understand, but I can understand their meaning. Lin Rong extracted some key words from these vague words, such as martial soul hall, pope, Xiaotian sect. This made him realize that he had traveled to the Douluo continent, and to the Douluo 1 timeline. In Douluo continent, martial spirit reigns supreme in this world. Everyone has a martial soul, but only those who have awakened their innate soul power are qualified to become soul masters. In most cases, the quality of the martial soul determines whether a person has innate soul power. The martial soul is inherited in the blood, and after thousands of years of selection, if the common people want to awaken their innate soul power, the only way is for the martial soul to undergo a benign mutation. However, the probability of a martial soul mutation is only 1 in a million, let alone a benign mutation. Therefore, very few civilians can awaken their innate soul power. When Lin Rong thought of this, his heart couldn't help but skip a beat. What if he was born in a civilian family in this life and he had not awakened his innate soul power? Even if he knew the plot and opportunities, it would be of no use. In view of this, Lin Rong had no choice but to work hard to find a solution in the womb. During this period, he was very envious of Tang San, who came with his Yuanshan Baolu, which was a heaven-defying plugin. It not only contained many unique skills such as Yuanshan Guang and Ziji Magic Guy, but also knowledge of medicine and poison, including detailed records of immortal herbs. But this also reminded Lin Rong that he might be able to try to practice the scriptures he remembered from his previous life. In my previous life, out of interest, I memorized a lot of Taoist and Buddhist scriptures, but those scriptures are too obscure and difficult to understand, so I can only memorize them by rote. If I don't review them for a few days, I will almost forget them. There was only one chapter of the Zisa Sutra, which Lin Rong memorized on the day before he traveled through time, so he remembered the entire text from then on. Lin Rong began to practice the Zisa Jing. At the beginning of the practice, no effect was noticed during this period. Lin Rong also heard someone calling his mother Duchess. He knew that if nothing unexpected happened, he would definitely awaken his innate soul power. He wanted to give up practicing the Zisa Sutra several times, but he had nothing to do in the womb, so he persisted. A few months later, the fetus was formed, and Lin Rong finally felt the effect when practicing the Zisa Jing. Seeing the effects, he devoted extra effort to practicing the Zisa Jing. Because the fetus was born with fetal breathing, Lin Rong had a smooth journey during the practice without encountering any obstacles, and the 8 extraordinary meridians were open before he was born. Thinking of this, he felt particularly happy and confident. I don't know if my martial soul will undergo a benign mutation, but the innate 8 meridians are all open. If this aptitude does not have innate full soul power, then there is no innate full soul power in this world. The settings in the original Douluo are self-contradictory. In order to ensure the logic, I can only downplay the contradictory settings of Douluo 1 as much as possible, and only adopt the worldview of Douluo 1. The settings of the second, third, and fourth sequels of Douluo will not be adopted. For example, Soul Core, 10 Great Beasts, Dragon Valley, Silver Dragon King. None of these books have it. End of this chapter. Chapter 2, Soul Awakening, 9 Curved Vine Dragon. The Duke Lin's mansion covers a vast area, and the awakening room is located neither close nor far from the wooden house. Even so, it takes nearly half an hour to walk from the wooden house to the awakening room. It has been 6 years since the day I traveled through time. After waiting till today with great difficulty, Lin Rong has been eager to awaken his martial spirit. So naturally he would not let himself pass by. The old butler understood what the young master was thinking, so he picked up Lin Rong and urged his soul power to rush to the awakening room. The awakening room was built in the center of the manor, where the main house was located. The awakening of the martial soul is a private matter. In order to maintain confidentiality, the awakening room is built entirely of iron to make it airtight. The ceiling is inlaid with 12 luminous pearls for lighting. In the center of the floor, 6 round black stones were placed there in order, forming a hexagonal magic circle rather than an awakening room. This place is more like a secret room. After Lin Rong walked into the awakening room, he couldn't help but think so. Alright, young master, stand in the center of the magic circle. After Lin Rong stood at the designated position, the martial soul awakening ceremony officially began. I saw thousands of stars appearing around the old butler, condensing into a wide jade star disk in midair. 8 stars flickered on the star disk, sometimes bright and sometimes dim, extremely gorgeous at the same time. 2 yellow, 2 purple and 4 black, a total of 8 soul rings, appeared under the old butler's feet in the order: yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, 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 black. The sky star plate, mutated from an ordinary stone mill martial soul, is a top-level star-type martial soul. The year Lin Rong was born, the old butler Yu Yuan was 59 years old, and his soul power was at level 84. 6 years later, the old butler was 65 years old, and his soul power reached level 86, making him a controlled type soul. Douluo. The old butler clapped his hands, and 6 bluish-white streams of light flew out from his palms and were injected into the 6 black stones in the magic circle. The next moment, 6 black stones burst into hazy golden light, forming a light golden light shield that enveloped Lin Rong. Immediately afterwards, golden spots of light floated out from the 6 black stones one after another and entered Lin Rong's body without exception. Lin Rong only felt warm and comfortable all over. The warm breath penetrated into his body, making him clearly feel a slight fluctuation in the strength in his body. Afterwards, the power in the body was drawn by the warm breath and all flowed into the palm of his right hand. At this moment, Lin Rong subconsciously raised his right palm, and a sky blue light seeped out from the palm of his hand, and a dragon roar sounded throughout the awakening room. After a few breaths, the sky blue haze dissipated above the palm of the hand. A banyan forest is suspended there. The banyan tree in the center is the main tree, and the rest are sub-trees on the trunk of the banyan tree. A banyan root transformed into a green dragon and hovered there, like a living creature. At the same time, a sky blue halo emanated from Lin Rong and quickly covered the entire awakening room. In the awakening room, Lin Rong and the old butler had different expressions, but both showed shock to varying degrees on their faces. Mutated martial spirit. The old butler carefully looked at the scene in front of him and muttered to himself, "It has the characteristics of both dragon soul vine and thousand-leaf banyan. Is it a fusion mutation? The dragon roar earlier and this innate field must be a benign mutation without a doubt. Young master, come and test your innate soul power." As he spoke, the old butler took out a blue crystal ball from the soul guide, held it in both hands and presented it to the young master in the center of the formation. Lin Rong also recovered from his shock. He stretched out his hands to take the blue crystal ball. Suddenly, a huge suction force burst out from the crystal ball, and the power in his body seemed to find an outlet and surged out. After a moment, a blue light appeared from the bottom of the crystal ball and filled the entire crystal ball in the blink of an eye. It looked like a natural blue crystal, radiant and sparkling, full innate soul power. As expected, too. Voices sounded almost at the same time. Unlike Lin Rong, who was calm at the moment, the old butler looked at the crystal ball with a look of satisfaction on his face, and habitually and naturally reached out his hand to stroke the young master's long black hair. Now that the Lin family has a successor, this old servant can be satisfied. After a while, the old butler withdrew his hand without leaving a trace, calmed down, and suggested gently, "Young master, please give this mutant martial spirit a name." Name. Lin Rong had the answer in his mind the moment he saw his martial spirit, so he answered the old butler. The roots of the banyan tree turned into dragon soul that coiled around the trunk, twisting and turning. Why not call it the 9-curved vine dragon, 9-bend vine dragon? After hearing this, the old butler stroked his beard and exclaimed, "Yes, that's a very good name." Yes, Lin Rong himself did not expect to awaken such a martial spirit. The 9-bend vine dragon is formed by the fusion of the 2 martial spirits, the dragon soul vine and the thousand-leaf banyan. The martial soul comes with its own talent field. Fusion long. There are 3 stages of the talent domain. At this time, The Fujilong domain has just awakened and is in the first stage. All attributes of the own side within the domain are increased by 10%, and all attributes of the enemy are weakened by 10%. Exclusive effect of the Vine Dragon domain, Life Dragon Soul. Within the coverage of the domain, all attacks on the body will be converted into pure life force within a certain period of time to restore itself. At the same time, life force, soul force and mental force can be freely converted without loss. Lin Rong pondered that the reason why the two martial souls were able to merge and mutate and awaken the 9-curved vine dragon was due to the cleansing Marrow Sutra. Now that the martial soul has awakened, some plans can be implemented on the timeline. When Lin Rong was 4 months old in her mother's womb, the battle between Jin's Unji and Tang Hao took place. Tang San was born in that battle, and the human race takes 10 months to conceive, which means that he was born 6 months later than Tang San, and was half a year younger than Tang San in the original novel, after Tang San awakened his martial spirit. It took 3 months before Not in College opened. He graduated 6 years later and went to Shrek Academy. Shortly after school started, he broke through to level 30 in the starred out Great Forest at the age of only 12 years and 7 months. From this, we can deduce that Tang San was approximately 6 years and 4 months old when he awakened his martial spirit. Lin Rong just turned 6 today, so Tang San is only 6.5 years old now. It has only been 2 months since his martial spirit awakened, so he should still be forging iron in the Holy Soul Village. Holy Soul Village. After Tang San finished practicing the purple demon pupil on the hill outside the village, he was using the ghost shadow technique to rush towards the west side of the village. Soon they arrived in front of 3 adobe houses. In the room, Tang Hao was still the same as usual, waiting for his son to finish cooking and call him to eat. After a stick of incense, after Tang San cleaned up the pots and pans, he walked into another adobe room and put a piece of pig iron into the forging furnace. The piece of pig iron was originally 50 centimeters square, but after nearly 2 months of forging by Tang San, it had become very close to the size of a fist. The closer we get to the limit, the harder it is to remove the impurities. Tang San pulled the bellows, muttering in his heart. However, this hammering method is truly magical. It can actually use the force of the opponent to achieve the desired effect. It can also remove impurities after forging the pig iron to the stage. Dang dang dang. Tang San swung the hammer and used the chaos cloak hammer technique to forge iron, and the sounds of hammering iron came one after another. It is estimated that in another half month, this piece of pig iron will be completely forged. When the time comes, I will use this piece of raw iron to forge a Tang sect hidden weapon, the first Tang sect hidden weapon in this alien world. Thinking of this, Tang San couldn't help but reveal the excitement in his eyes. One day, the name of the Tang clan will be famous throughout the world in this strange world, and all of this will be accomplished by him, Tang San. The speed of soul power cultivation is not only related to innate soul power, but also to the following factors. 1. Classification of martial spirits: combat spirit, auxiliary spirit, food spirit. 2. Whether one is diligent in cultivation. As lazy as Oscar in the early stage, he was born with full soul power and reached level 30 at the age of 14, excluding the 2 soul rings that add 2 levels of soul power. It takes 18 years to increase to level 1, with an average annual increase of 2.25 levels. As hard-working as Zhu Ziuqing, with innate soul power at level 7, he reached level 27 at the age of 12, excluding the 2 soul rings that add 2 levels of soul power. It takes 6 years to increase to 18 levels, an average of 3 levels per year. 3. Cultivation environment. For example, simulated training environment. 4. External pressure. Feng Xiaotian, born with full soul power, reached level 44 of soul power at the age of 24, practiced in Hurricane Valley for 5 years, and reached level 61 at the age of 29, excluding the 2 additional levels from the 2 spirit rings. The total level will increase by 15 in 5 years, an average of 3 levels per year. 5. Immortal herbs. For example, 8-petal fairy orchid. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Sunset Forest. Sunset Forest. It is located in the north of the Sky Dou Empire, close to the imperial capital Xiandao City. Although it is not as famous as the starred out Great Forest, it is still ranked among all the soul beast forests in the Xiandao Empire. And deep in the Sunset Forest, there is a rare treasure place called Yin Yang Eyes of Ice and Fire. However, no one in this world knows about this rare and precious land, and there is no record of it in any ancient books. On the contrary, there is a detailed record in the Xuanshan treasure record of the Tang sect in another world that the Yin Yang Eyes of Ice and Fire is one of the 3 treasure pots in the world. This is no wonder. The Xuanshan Guang in the Xuanshan treasure record could make the Douluo world 40,000 years ahead. It turns out to be a dimensionality reduction attack outside the Sunset Forest. Two figures, one old and one young, were walking in the woods. They were Lin Rong and the old housekeeper Yu Yuan. After Lin Rong awakened his martial soul, the old butler took care of many affairs of the Duke's mansion and brought the young master to the Sunset Forest to hunt soul beasts and obtain soul rings for this soul hunting trip. Lin Rong already has a clear target, which is Ning Rongrong. The 9-bend vine dragon is the result of the fusion and mutation of the two major martial souls, the dragon soul vine and the thousand-leaf banyan. Therefore, the soul beasts corresponding to these two martial souls are very suitable for the 9-bend vine dragon. However, Dragon Soul Vine is a mutation of Azure Vine Martial Soul and Dragon Martial Soul, so it is basically impossible for a soul beast like Dragon Soul Vine to exist in the soul beast forest. Therefore, the best choice is only banyan tree. The thousand-leaf banyan tree has an age of 372 years, which is still too low. Lin Rong stood in front of a thousand-leaf banyan tree and shook his head after sensing its exact age. After awakening the 9-curved vine dragon, the martial soul gave Lin Rong an ability, life perception, which allowed him to sense the amount of vitality of the target within his surroundings, and use it to peek into the target's specific cultivation level. Grandpa, let's go. The old butler took Lin Rong away to look for his next target. Ning Rongrong is a plant soul beast. Although its intelligence is not as high as that of animal soul beasts, its perception is far superior to that of animal soul beasts. It has long realized that the old man next to Lin Rong is not someone to be trifled with. Therefore, when Lin Rong walked in front of it, Ning Rongrong did not dare to move at all. It did not dare to shake its leaves until the two of them were far away, and was thankful that it had survived the disaster. 2 days passed in a flash. During these 2 days, a total of 7-century-old thousand-leaf banyan trees were found, the youngest of which was 277 years old and the oldest was 407 years old. 407 years. As the first soul ring, this age is already high enough. After all, the so-called limit of the first soul ring is only 423 years. But Lin Rong was still not satisfied. He began practicing the Marrow Cleansing Sutra in his mother's womb, coupled with constant bathing in various precious medicines. The maximum soul ring lifespan he could withstand was far more than 423 years. Moreover, with a perception of life, he can clearly know the power in the soul ring, and then compare it with his own situation to determine whether he can absorb it. Therefore, the situation where one absorbs a super life spirit ring and explodes to death will not happen to Lin Rong. The first soul ring is of utmost importance, so Lin Rong must naturally strive for excellence and perfection. And the age of the soul ring must at least be close to its own limit. That night, the sky above the Sunset Forest was filled with stars. By the campfire, in the tent, Lin Rong sat cross-legged in meditation, practicing the Zisujing. While the old housekeeper sat by the campfire to keep watch. Generally speaking, it is forbidden to make fires in the soul beast forest at night, because the firelight will attract nocturnal soul beasts to come and hunt. But since this is generally speaking, there are naturally exceptions. The old butler Yu Yuan is a soul Douluo, and this place is on the outskirts of the Sunset Forest. Although it is close to the depths, it is still in the periphery on the outskirts of Sunset Forest. Even at night, the soul beasts that appear will not have a cultivation base of more than 5,000 years. For the old butler, they are nothing to be afraid of. 1 mile from the campsite, Xiao Wu, wait for me. Feng, Xiaotian, could you please stop following me around all day? I'm almost annoyed by you. In the dark night, a young boy and a young girl seemed to be arguing about something under a tree. The girl's voice was clear and could be heard clearly in the darkness. This trip to Sunset Forest is for a senior from Blazing Fire Academy to break through level 30 and obtain a spirit ring. I came here to train as a member of the academy. I have nothing to do with the Divine Wind Academy. Why are you following me? Well. Feng Xiaotian didn't know how to answer for a moment after hearing this. He could only stand there in a daze, his face flushed. After a long while, he stammered and replied, I am worried about you, right? After saying that, Feng Xiaotian quickly added, Xiao Wu, this is the Soul Beast Forest. It's too dangerous for you to run out alone at night. Let's go back quickly. Do you think I can come up with this? Ho Wu put her hands on her hips and angrily retorted, it's because you're like a dog skin plaster, clinging to me all day long, that I sneaked out to relax. Besides, I'm not stupid. I'm just wandering around the camp. There's no danger. But Feng Xiaotian really wanted to say it, because he was chasing Ho Wu, and they were already far away from the camp. But what? Ho Wu interrupted Feng Xiaotian impatiently and asked, "Didn't you say you were here to protect me? Then why should I be afraid, or are you afraid? How is this possible?" Feng Xiaotian suddenly became excited, throwing all his worries out of his mind. "Don't worry, Xiao Wu. I will definitely protect you and get us back safely. Careful." As he was speaking, Feng Xiaotian suddenly felt a change in wind direction. He reacted instinctively in an instant and was possessed by the swift wind. Two-headed wolf spirit, the third soul skill, wind wings. Before Ho Wu could even utter a scream, Feng Xiaotian grabbed her by the waist and quickly flew into the air. They saw that the place where they were originally standing had collapsed, and many black spikes emerged from the ground to form a cage. "What is this?" "A spider web cage. It's a crypt spider." Feng Xiaotian looked at the ground with lingering fear. If he hadn't been born sensitive to the wind, if he hadn't been good at speed, if he hadn't reacted in time, he and Ho Wu would have been pierced through the body by the black spikes and died on the spot. Underground, the burrow spider emerged from its underground cave, its 4 pairs of eyes rolling around with a hint of doubt in its eyes. The spider web cage had no warning or energy fluctuations when it was activated, but the 2 prey were able to sense the spider web cage and successfully dodge it. During the day, it encountered 2 preys. One of them was an old man, which it perceived as extremely dangerous, so it let them go. Now, it could not let go of the 2 preys in front of it no matter what. Without any hesitation, spider silk spurted out from the mouth of the crypt spider and went straight to the 2 preys in the air. The whole process only takes half a breath, but at this moment, Feng Xiaotian's vigilance reached its peak, and the potential in his body continued to erupt. He dodged dangerously while holding Ho Wu. While dodging, Feng Xiaotian caught a glimpse of a faint fire about a mile away, and flew towards the direction of the fire without thinking. The subterranean demon spider followed closely behind them, chasing the 2 of them relentlessly. 1 mile away, in the camp, Lin Rong was practicing the Zisujing. Suddenly, within the range of life perception, 3 life auras fluctuated abnormally violently, and these 3 life auras were rapidly approaching the direction of the camp. Among those 3 breaths of life, Lin Rong was very familiar with one of them. It's the crypt spider from the daytime, with 3,221 years of cultivation. The other 2 life breaths are human, and they are very young. The life attributes of the 2 are wind and fire respectively. Their cultivation is not high, one is over 30 levels, and the other is over 20 levels. We need to get closer to find out the exact level. I didn't expect that there are still people so brave these days. This is the Soul Beast Forest. Although it is on the outskirts, not everyone can wander around here. It will forget it. We are all human beings. Just consider it as a good deed done by the Duke. So, Lin Rong stopped practicing, turned around and instructed the old housekeeper, "Grandpa Yu, about 400 meters southeast of the camp, there are 2 young soul masters being chased by the underground demon spider in the daytime. Please go and rescue them." In the original novel, Tang San participated in the Continental Advanced Soul Master Elite competition at the age of 14.5. Feng Xiaotian is 24 years old, 10 years older than Tang San, and his soul power is at level 44. Ho Wu is less than 20 years old, so she is 19 years old, 5 years older than Tang San, and her soul power is level 44. Tang San is now 6.5 years old, so Feng Xiaotian is 16 years old and Ho Wu is 11 years old. End of this chapter. Chapter 4, Bonfire at Night. Sunset Forest. In midair, Feng Xiaotian held Ho Wu tightly in his arms, maintaining his 3rd soul skill, swift wind wings, and flew quickly towards the camp where Lin Rong was. He knew that although this was the outskirts of the Sunset Forest, there must be at least a soul sage in the camp who dared to light a fire at night. People are treacherous. When we are in the Soul Beast Forest, the people we need to be most wary of are strange soul masters. But the situation is urgent right now and we can't care about so many things. Feng Xiaotian thought to himself, while increasing his soul power output in an effort to fly faster behind the 2. The crypt spider controlled its 8 legs to quickly shuttle through the forest, continuously spraying spider silk into the air. The crypt spider is a non-venomous spider. The spider silk it sprays does not contain any toxins, but is extremely tough. Moreover, the spider silk is attached with extremely viscous liquid, which solidifies when it encounters wind. In just an instant, the spider silk becomes extremely hard. The sturdy ancient trees blocked out the sky and the moon. Feng Xiaotian held Ho Wu and twisted and turned in the air, causing most of the spider silk shot by the subterranean demon spider to fall empty, but a few spider silks still narrowly brushed past Feng Xiaotian's clothes, leaving several wounds on his body in just a few breaths. The two sides chased each other and rushed over a distance of dozens of meters when Feng Xiaotian was once again dodging the spider silk sprayed by the subterranean demon spider. Yu Yuan arrived here in time. A white jade star disc twinkling with 8 stars was suspended in front of Yu Yuan, and the first yellow soul ring under his feet lit up the first soul skill, falling star. In an instant, 2 beams of starlight fell from the sky, enveloping the subterranean demon spider and Feng Xiaotian Hua respectively. Before the two could react, a kind voice came to their ears. Don't panic, this is my first soul skill, Falling Star, which can both control people. I believe you have already felt the effect of my soul skill, too. People in the starlight column. Ho Wu had no other feeling except that her whole body was surrounded by a warm ocean because she was well protected during the pursuit. She was not injured at all and her soul power was not consumed, so she could not directly feel the effect of the falling stars. On the other hand, Feng Xiaotian had consumed a lot of his soul power and had several wounds on his body caused by spider silk. At this moment, he could feel that his soul power was recovering rapidly. The skin injuries on his body were quickly scabbing over, and soon an itchy feeling came over him, indicating that the skin under the scabs had healed during this period. Feng Xiaotian recalled the words he had just heard and looked back. It turned out that the crypt demon spider had disappeared at some point. If it weren't for the few spider legs and shells left on the ground, it would be hard to believe that there had been a spider soul beast here. Is this a high-level soul master? Feng Xiaotian was extremely shocked and thought, just the first soul skill can have such power. Even if this senior is not a soul Douluo, his cultivation is very close. At this moment, Yu Yuan walked out of the darkness with a star plate in his hand. 8 gorgeous soul rings moved rhythmically under his feet, demonstrating the old man's soul Douluo's cultivation level. Yu Yuan waved his hand to interrupt Feng Xiaotian, who was about to thank him, and explained, no need to say thank you, I was only following the Duke's orders to rescue you two, so, the person you should thank is His Excellency the Duke, not me. As he spoke, Yu Yuan looked back in the direction of the camp and continued, the soul beast forest is extremely dangerous at night. I cannot leave the Duke for too long. You two should follow me. From the clothes you two are wearing, it's clear that you are students of Kamikaze and Blazing Fire. I'm sure the elders from your academy are also in Sunset Forest. In that case, when you and I return to the camp, you can safely and boldly fire flares to notify your elders to come pick you up. I am somewhat confident in my own strength. Even if some soul beasts are attracted by the flares, they will not threaten your safety. Bang bang. Fireworks bloomed in the night sky, dazzling. I have already sent out a signal flare. Soon, the teachers from the academy will come to pick me, Feng Xiaotian and me up. By the campfire, Ho Wu's face was illuminated by the flames, which effectively concealed her blushing face. The shared experience of a life or death moment had left an indelible impression on Feng Xiaotian. At this moment, Ho Wu's mind was filled with the image of Feng Xiaotian rescuing her from the spider web cage, so much so that she still didn't dare to look Feng Xiaotian in the face. Beside Ho Wu, Feng Xiaotian did not notice Ho Wu's unusual tone. Instead, he looked down at Lin Rong and asked curiously, my benefactor, you have inherited the title of Duke at such a young age. Your parents? I'm sorry, halfway through the question, Feng Xiaotian suddenly realized the title of Duke is inherited by the son after the father's death. Since Lin Rong inherited the title of Duke, his father is certainly gone, and his mother is most likely gone as well. When Lin Rong heard this question, he was a little confused, but he soon figured it out. In the Dawei era, information was blocked in the original novel. After Shrek Academy won the Continental Advanced Soul Master Elite competition, for the past 5 years, the patriarch of the Yu clan did not know who the winning members were. This shows how isolated the information is in Douluo continent unless it is something that affects the situation of the entire continent, such as the establishment of the Wuhan Empire in the original work. It will spread throughout the continent. Although the situation of the Lin family is well known in Xiandao City, it is not a big deal after all. With Dawei's information dissemination capabilities, it is normal for it to stop at Xiandao City. After thinking it through, Lin Rong replied, it's okay, you didn't mean it. Lin Rong didn't care about Feng Xiaotian's unintentional offense. Since my biological parents in this life have never lived together, there is naturally no way they have a deep relationship. It was Feng Xiaotian, on the other hand, who was nailed to the eternal pillar of shame for having innate full soul power in the original novel. He was so disappointing that Lin Rong felt it necessary to correct him. Do you know what the saddest thing in the world is? Lin Rong suddenly asked a question, and then answered the question himself without waiting for Feng Xiaotian to answer. That is, seeing the person you want to protect the most in front of you, and you are unable to do anything. Feng Xiaotian was silent. He lowered his head and stared at the bonfire in front of him with a complicated expression. The flames were reflected in his eyes, reflecting what happened tonight. Seeing this, Lin Rong decided to add fuel to the fire and said to himself, although I have been in Xiandao City and have never been out before, I have heard that there is a genius with innate full soul power in the Divine Wind Academy, named Feng Xiaotian. If the news is true, then you are already 16 years old this year, but your soul power is only level 33. Do you know? The underground demon spider tonight, Yubo and I also encountered it during the day. Its cultivation level is only over 3,000 years old. With 10 years of training time, given your innate full soul power, it would be normal for you to reach the level of a high-level soul lord, if not a soul king. With the Gale two-headed wolf martial spirit and soul sect cultivation, I can completely deal with a 3,000-year-old crypt demon spider on my own. So, if you practice seriously, facing a 3,000-year-old crypt spider, you, with your high-level soul master cultivation, don't have to run away with this young lady. It's a pity that you didn't. You are only level 33. If Yubo hadn't rescued you, there would be 2 more skeletons in Sunset Forest, buried under the wind and sand. Although I don't know why you neglected your training, the fact is that at the age of 16, your soul power is only level 33. At this point, Lin Rong paused, giving Feng Xiaotian time to digest, and then said the last few words. There is no regret medicine in the world, so the past is irreparable, but what will happen in the future is still unknown, so it is not too late to work hard now. That's all I have to say. You can experience it yourself. After saying that, Lin Rong no longer paid attention to Feng Xiaotian and turned around and walked into the tent. Please collect and recommend. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Yu Rong. Lin Rong's words echoed in Feng Xiaotian's ears for a long time. At the age of 6, he awakened a mutated martial soul, the Gale two-headed wolf, and his aptitude was an innate full soul power that is rarely seen in a century at that time. Feng Xiaotian practiced diligently and was full of vigor and vitality. It was not until the college exchange meeting that he met the girl who made his heart beat, Ho Wu. At Chihiro College, Ho Wu has a strong personality, so from then on, Feng Xiaotian began to neglect his cultivation, and worked hard to gradually bring his soul power level to the same level as Ho Wu. To this end, Feng Xiaotian also found a perfect excuse to cover up the matter of his soul power level, which was to research his own soul skills. The bonfire was reflected in Feng Xiaotian's eyes, and the dancing flames transformed into the appearance of Ho Wu. That was Ho Wu's bright smile when they first met. Then, the picture jumped and switched to the scene where he and Ho Wu were being chased by the crypt demon spider tonight. Afterwards, these 2 images kept switching back and forth in Feng Xiaotian's eyes until one moment, the picture stopped jumping and froze on the scene of his first meeting with Ho Wu. That's right. Feng Xiaotian's eyes gradually became firm. If you like someone, you must have the ability to protect her. From now on, I, Feng Xiaotian, will practice diligently and will never let what happened tonight happen again. Suddenly, Feng Xiaotian had a thought that he had never thought of before. He turned around and thanked Lin Rong loudly in the tent. Your Excellency the Duke, I cannot thank you enough for your kindness. I've taken note of your advice today. If you need me in the future, I will go through fire and water for you without hesitation. In the tent, Lin Rong's mouth corners slightly raised after hearing these words. This young man is teachable, and my words are not in vain. Time flies. 2 days passed since that night's Sunset Forest, in a valley deep in the outskirts. It took more than 4 days, and I finally found one with the right age. In front of Lin Rong is a 525-year-old 1,000-leaf banyan tree. There is only 1,000-leaf banyan tree, but its lush roots have grown a large number of sub-plants, and from a distance it looks like a dense banyan forest. Grandpa, you do it. Following Lin Rong's order, the saplings of the 1,000-leaf ficus were quickly eradicated by the old housekeeper. The main body of the 1,000-leaf ficus was also uprooted, and many rhizomes were cut off one by one, leaving only one rhizome rooted in the soil, maintaining the last bit of life of the 1,000-leaf ficus. Young Master, please. Lin Rong stepped forward, released his martial spirit, the 9-curved vine dragon, and controlled a vine dragon root to gently hit Ning Rong, cutting off the last bit of life. Not long after, a deep yellow soul ring condensed above the 1,000-leaf banyan tree. Soul rings are the most important symbol of a soul master, bar none. Even soul bones are far inferior to soul rings. It's not just because spirit bones are rare, but also because spirit rings, not spirit bones, are essential for a spirit master to advance. I have been traveling through another world for 6 years. I am finally going to receive my first soul ring in my life. Lin Rong took a deep breath, sat cross-legged on the spot, practiced a Marrow Cleansing Sutra to adjust his condition to the best, and then controlled his martial soul to pull the soul ring. Here we go. At one side, the old butler looked at the soul ring on the 9-curved vine dragon, and immediately focused his attention and became alert to the surroundings to protect the young master. The 1,000-leaf banyan symbolizes tenacious life. The 525-year-old 1,000-leaf banyan soul ring, carrying enormous soul power and vitality, explodes in Lin Rong's body. Just as Lin Rong was about to practice the Zisujing to absorb these powers, a dragon roar sounded from his body. Instantly, the vitality carried by the spirit ring became unusually docile, like a subject seeing the emperor, and it even took the initiative to wrap around the spirit rings and spirit powers that came from the same source as it. As expected of the 9-bend vine dragon, its control over vitality is so high. This way, the process of absorbing the spirit ring will be much smoother. Lin Rong thought to himself, and then practiced a Marrow Cleansing Sutra to refine these soul powers and life forces, completely transforming these powers into part of himself. Time passed slowly outside world. Because of absorbing the soul ring, Lin Rong's figure grew a lot taller, and his long black hair was also stained with a hint of light blue. But then another dragon roar was heard, the light blue color disappeared, and the hair turned back to pure black in the palms of his hands. The 9-curved vine dragon did not undergo any changes, but upon closer inspection, it seemed that there were some differences from before. It was a kind of mysterious Taoist rhyme that was hard to describe. After an hour, the absorption of the soul ring was nearing completion. At a certain moment, the soul ring completely stabilized and came to Lin Rong's feet, moving rhythmically. At this moment, Ning Rong suddenly ignited a sky blue flame. The green flame instantly burned the 1,000-leaf banyan tree to ashes. Bang! Bang! A heartbeat sounded in the flames. A crystal-clear wooden bead like green jade absorbed the green flame and then turned into a stream of light and drilled into Lin Rong's body. The incident happened suddenly, and when the old butler reacted, it was too late to stop the wooden bead from entering the young master's body. Fortunately, Lin Rong's breathing was still stable. The old housekeeper breathed a sigh of relief and began to think about what the wooden bead was. Could it be an external soul bone? After a while, when Lin Rong opened his eyes, he saw the old butler's aged face close to him, which was full of concern. Grandpa. What's wrong? Is there something on my face, young master? Have you noticed anything wrong with your body? Said the old butler, and then told Lin Rong what had just happened. It's all my fault that I was useless and failed to detect it in time, which allowed the nameless wooden bead to get into the young master's body. Grandpa. Are you talking about a banyan heart? Lin Rong reached out to help the old housekeeper who was kneeling on the ground, and explained, you guessed right, actually. That wooden bead is the external soul bone produced by the 1,000-leaf banyan tree. I call it the heart of the banyan tree. Congratulations, young master. When the old butler heard that the wooden bead was really an external soul bone, a burst of joy from the bottom of his heart diluted the self-blame in his heart, and then said with a serious face, young master, don't mention the matter of the external soul bone to outsiders. Although the external soul bone cannot be obtained by others after it is completely integrated, there is no guarantee that someone will kill you out of jealousy. Yes, I know. Lin Rong nodded in response. The corresponding position of the banyan heart is the heart, unlike Tang San's 8-spider lance, which needs to be displayed outside the body. Therefore, as long as Lin Rong doesn't say it, no one will know that he has an external soul bone. This time, after absorbing the 525-year-old 1,000-leaf banyan soul ring and the soul power obtained from refining the 1,000-leaf banyan's remaining body with a banyan tree heart, Lin Rong's own soul power level has reached level 15. Among them, the soul ring provided soul power of over level 3, raising his soul power level to level 13. The remaining 2 levels of soul power are provided by the banyan tree heart. The higher the level of the soul master, the more soul power is required at each level. Therefore, Although the soul power obtained from refining the 1,000-leaf banyan tree with a banyan tree heart was more than the soul ring, it only increased Lin Rong's soul power level by 2 levels. However, the improvement of soul power level is secondary. The most important thing is the soul skills attached to the soul rings and soul bones. During this soul hunting trip, Lin Rong was very satisfied with both the soul rings and external soul bones produced by Ning Rongrong, and the soul skills attached to them. It was mentioned in the original book that the reason why absorbing soul bones can increase soul power is because of the soul power remaining after the soul bones explode from the soul beast. Therefore, the soul bone itself will not increase the soul power level of the absorber. End of this chapter. Chapter 6 Dragon Soul Awakens. Lin Rong released the 9-curved vine dragon martial spirit, and at the same time a deep yellow spirit ring appeared and rhythmically moved under his feet, followed by the spirit ring's light flashing first soul skill, Dragon Soul Awakening. As the name suggests, this is an amplification soul skill. Soul skill effect: the toughness of the martial soul is increased by 100%, the strength is increased by 50%, the speed is increased by 50%, and the sharpness of the martial soul is increased by 50%. For every level of soul power increased, the amplification effect is increased by an additional 1%. At the same time, all attacks are accompanied by Dragon Power Dragon Might effect. The real dragon's mighty pressure will strike fear into the opponent's heart and reduce their fighting spirit. The weaker the opponent, the more obvious the effect. The effect is doubled for dragon spirit owners and spirit beasts. Lin Rong's current soul power level is level 15, and the amplification effect of the Dragon Soul Awakening is: the toughness of the martial soul increases by 115%, and the strength, speed, and sharpness of the martial soul increase by 65%. The 9-curved vine dragon is a plant-type martial soul rather than a beast-type martial soul. After Lin Rong uses the amplifying soul skill, he cannot feel the pleasure of a sudden increase in strength, so Lin Rong looked at the scattered 1,000-leaf banyan trees on the ground around him and came up with an idea. Suddenly, more than 10 dragon tree roots appeared in the sparse grass on the ground. The roots of the vine dragon tree spread out in all directions and, under Lin Rong's control, swept across the 1,000-leaf banyan trees on the ground around them. Boom boom boom. More than 10 loud noises came from all directions. The earth seemed to shake several times, and dust was flying for a while. When the dust settled, the 1,000-leaf banyan trees on the ground had been beaten into sawdust by the roots of the dragon tree. Lin Rong was very satisfied with this. Very good. This is the power that a top-level martial spirit should have. Such a powerful force is not inferior to the second soul skill of an ordinary great soul master. The old butler on the side exclaimed and asked, "Young master, although the amplification of this first soul skill is high, I wonder what the consumption is." Consumption. Lin Rong looked strange after hearing this and sensing the state of the soul power in his body. Almost nothing. Just like the name of Dragon Soul Awakening, it awakens the inherent ability of the 9-curved vine dragon martial soul, so the soul power consumption is almost nothing. Moreover, because of the characteristics of my martial soul, I can recover my soul power on my own without meditating, and the speed at which my soul power recovers is greater than the speed at which it is consumed. If I hadn't sensed it carefully just now, I wouldn't have known that my soul power had been consumed. These words really shocked the old butler. He had lived to an old age, but had never seen such superb soul skills. But the old butler soon figured it out. The reason for this situation was mostly due to the strength of the young master's martial spirit, and secondly, the high degree of compatibility between Kainai Banyan and Duke Lin. The Dragon Soul Awakens. What a Dragon Soul Awakens! The old butler twirled his beard and exclaimed, as an amplification spirit skill, it will not be eliminated just because of the improvement of cultivation, not to mention this powerful amplification level and almost no spirit power consumption. Grandpa, you don't be so surprised. Lin Rong smiled calmly and continued, I have just demonstrated the soul ring soul skills. I haven't even talked about the soul skills of the external soul bones yet. After hearing this, the old butler lost his usual dignified demeanor as the Duke's house butler and kept nodding his head and said, yes, yes, yes. There are also external soul bones. I have lived for so long, but I have only heard of the legend of external soul bones. As for seeing them with my own eyes, this is the first time. Seeing the old housekeeper's expectant expression, Lin Rong did not keep him in suspense and introduced directly. In addition, the soul bone comes from Ning Rongrong, and currently has 2 soul skills, but they are both passive effects. The first soul skill is called Life Rhythm. In addition to increasing the total soul power by 50%, it also increases the soul power recovery speed by 100%. It's a pity that this soul skill cannot be enhanced as the external soul bone ages. The second soul skill is called Transplantation. When a fatal injury is received, the fake body condensed by the soul bone will bear it, while the real body will teleport to a pre-designated place. Once triggered, it cannot be triggered again within 10 years. However, this skill can be disabled for a shorter period of time as the age of the attached soul bone increases. This time, the old butler was not surprised after hearing this, but instead had a matter-of-fact expression. It is indeed an external soul bone that only exists in legends. No wonder it is praised as a treasure second only to the 100,000-year soul ring. Lin Rong was quite speechless. He really wanted to tell Grandpa Yu that not all external soul bones had such powerful skills. The reason why the heart of the banyan tree is so powerful is that the 9-curved vine dragon itself is strong enough, so it has developed such a top-notch soul skill. Whether it's Tang San's 8-spider lance, Hulina's fox tail, or Bibi Dong's 6-winged purple wings, they are all far inferior to the banyan heart if they are of the same age, but this matter is too troublesome to explain, so let's just forget it. There are 8 human life forces rushing here. Were they attracted by the loud noise I just made? Lin Rong frowned and turned to look in the direction of the valley entrance. According to his life perception, the 8 people had already arrived 300 meters away from the valley. Seeing the young master like this, the old butler took a step forward, protected Lin Rong behind him, and released the heavenly star plate. 8 soul rings appeared rhythmically under his feet. Soon after, a group of people appeared at the entrance of the valley. There was actually a little girl at the front of the group. She looked at Lin Rong and the others and asked, "Hey, were you the ones who made that noise just now?" Among the 7 people behind the girl, the leader recognized the identities of the 2 people in front of him after seeing Yu Yuan's martial spirit and spirit ring, so he stepped forward and greeted. Feng, the captain of the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Sect's chief guard, greets Duke Lin Rong. Kibao. Glazed Sect? Lin Rong thought, with such age and attitude, this disrespectful girl in front of me must be Ning Rongrong. Ning Rongrong is a few months younger than Tang San, and her innate spirit power is at level 9. Considering this young lady's personality of not working hard in cultivation, it is normal for her to take several months to cultivate to level 10. Duke. After listening to the words of the captain of her own guard team, Ning Rongrong pointed at Lin Rong and asked, "Are you Lin Rong, the one who inherited the title of Duke before he was even born?" Without waiting for Lin Rong to reply, Ning Rongrong continued, "I really envy you. You've been the eldest in the family since birth. No one can stop you from doing anything you want. How wonderful." These words left Lin Rong speechless. "That's not right. You should have just turned 6 a few days ago. What are you doing in the Soul Beast Forest?" Ning Rongrong discovered a new problem and asked, "Could it be that you are born with full soul power?" "Haha, you are worthy of being the only daughter of sect leader Ning. You are really smart." Lin Rong answered Ning Rongrong's question in a disguised way. End of this chapter. Chapter 7 Plot. Then, an idea flashed through Lin Rong's mind, and he continued with what he had just said. "Your clan's 7 treasure Glazed Pagoda is a gemstone martial spirit." Ning Rongrong rolled her eyes after hearing this. "Nonsense, isn't this a well-known fact? You can tell it just by listening to the name." Then, Miss Ning might as well choose to hunt gem soul beasts to obtain soul rings. Lin Rong stated his purpose. The first soul skill of the 7 treasures Glazed Pagoda is nothing more than a boost in strength or agility. Then, the Diamond Mammoth and Emerald Demon Bird are 2 good soul beasts to choose from. Diamonds and Kingfisher Feathers are both gemstones. They complement the 7 treasures Glazed Tower, don't they? After saying that, Lin Rong led the old housekeeper out of the valley. When they were about to leave the valley, he turned back and said something to provoke Ning Rongrong. "Oh, right, my first spirit ring is over 400 years old. I believe that is the daughter of Sect Master Ning. You will definitely not look down on spirit beasts that are less than 400 years old." Without waiting for Ning Rongrong to react, Lin Rong left without looking back. "Damn it. Are you looking down on me?" After Ning Rongrong realized what was happening, she turned toward the valley entrance and yelled like a hedgehog with its hair standing on end, "It's just the first spirit ring in 400 years. What's there to be proud of? I can make one for you in a minute." On the side, the captain of the guard team, Feng, said weakly, "Well, miss, what? Are you still standing there for?" Ning Rongrong glared at Gu Feng fiercely and ordered, "Didn't you hear what I just said? Go find a diamond mammoth. Don't buy one that's less than 400 years old, now. Immediately." Immediately, yes, 7 voices answered in unison and echoed in the valley. They looked at each other and sighed in their hearts that this little ancestor was really hard to serve. Soul beasts like the diamond mammoth are extremely rare and very hard to find. On the way back to Xiandao City, Lin Rong sat in the carriage, thinking about things in the original novel. Ning Rongrong's martial soul evolved from the 7 treasures glazed tower to the 9 treasures glazed tower after absorbing the Kilo tulip, consuming the essence of heaven and earth. The light of the sun and the moon complements the best of gemstone-type martial spirits, and can therefore allow the 7 treasures glazed tower to evolve into the 9 treasures glazed tower. But natural gems are the essence of heaven and earth, and gem-type soul beasts can also absorb the light of the sun and the moon, even if it is not as good as the Kilo tulip, but a little bit adds up to a lot, and with the blessing of the soul rings produced by many gem soul beasts, it may not be impossible to evolve the 7 treasures glazed tower. Moreover, regardless of whether this matter succeeds or not, Lin Rong will not suffer any loss. On the contrary, if he succeeds, he can also gain favor from the 7 treasures glazed tile sect, which will be beneficial to his future plans. The most important thing is that this incident can be used to indirectly educate Ning Rongrong, the uneducated girl. The reason why Ning Rongrong was able to act lawless was simply because she relied on the doting of the 2 titled Douluo of the 7 treasures glazed tile sect, making it impossible for Ning Fengzi to educate her. But once Ning Rongrong's martial soul shows signs of evolution, things will be different. The 7 treasures glazed tower involves the foundation of the 7 treasures glazed sect. Therefore, as long as Ning Rongrong's martial soul shows signs of evolution, Ning Fengzi will strictly require Ning Rongrong to practice hard in order to obtain the next soul ring. Earlier, the 2 titled Douluo would tolerate Ning Rongrong in small matters, but would only obey Ning Fengzi's orders in such big matters. Ning Rongrong, if my vision comes true, then your leisurely life will be completely gone. Soul power training, noble education, and learning the method of distraction control, this is what you should do. As for the Shrek Academy, you'd better not go there. Just stay in the 7 treasures glazed tile sect and be the young master. Sneeze. Ning Rongrong rubbed her nose on the side. The captain of the guard team, Gu Feng, heard the voice and immediately said, "Miss, it's very cold in spring, especially in the forest. You'd better wear more clothes to avoid catching a cold." "Huh? Are you teaching me how to do things?" Ning Rongrong didn't appreciate it at all, but she consciously took out a fur coat from her soul guide and put it on. "If you have the free time to hang around me, why don't you go find the diamond mammoth?" This. Gu Feng suddenly felt embarrassed. The other 6 guards have all gone to look for the diamond mammoth. Now he is the only one left to protect the young lady's safety, and he must not leave. If anything happens to this little ancestor, the 2 princes in the sect will tear his bones and skin him alive. Bang bang. Suddenly, a burst of fireworks came from the distant sky, and the shape of a 7-story pagoda bloomed in the air. Found it so fast. Gu Feng couldn't help but be surprised after seeing the fireworks. Ning Rongrong didn't think so. Now she only wanted to obtain the diamond mammoth's soul ring and didn't want to waste even a second. "What are you still standing there for? Take me there quickly." Inside the carriage, Lin Rong was doing 2 things at once, practicing the Marrow Cleansing Sutra to cultivate his soul power while asking, "Grandpa Yu, it's been more than 2 months, and there's still no news about the guards sent to the Bara Kingdom." Reply to the young master's question. On the side, the old butler thought for a moment and replied respectfully, "Captain Su has found a child who has awakened the fire phoenix spirit in a village near Soto City in the Bara Kingdom. According to the young master's instructions, the child cannot be threatened, only bribed." Captain Su remembered your teachings and saw that the child was eager for the delicacies in the towns along the way, so he took the child to taste the delicacies of various places along the way, which delayed him for quite a while. When we went to the Sunset Forest to hunt souls, according to the news from the secret sentry, they were not far from Xiandao City. After a few days, they should have arrived at the Duke's palace. Well, that's great. Lin Rong nodded slightly and then stopped talking. Among the Shrek 7 devils, Dai Mubei was born into the royal family of the Duo Empire. Zhu's Huking was born into the family of the Duo Queen. Tang San and Ning Rongrong were born into the upper 3 sects, and Xiao Wu was the incarnation of a 100,000-year-old soul beast. Only Oscar and Ma Hongjun came from poor families and were the two most suitable to be recruited. However, although Oscar is loyal and righteous, he is too shrewd, sensitive, suspicious, and has many small thoughts. This can be seen from the scene in the original novel where Tang San deliberately let Oscar eavesdrop on his conversation with Ning Rongrong on Sea God Island so that Oscar could resolve his emotional knot. For this kind of person, you will not be loyal to any force. You can only be brothers with him, exchange sincerity for sincerity, and make him do things willingly based on friendship. Unfortunately, Lin Rong can give Oscar a lot of things, such as wealth, power, and entourage. He can satisfy Oscar with all these, but he cannot give Oscar his true love. Ma Hongjun is different. This little fat boy has a simple mind and will listen to whoever treats him well. He is very suitable to be trained as a thug and become a sharp blade in Lin Rong's hands. As for why they had to wait until Ma Hongjun's martial soul awakened before recruiting him, there are two reasons. Firstly, although the village where Ma Hongjun is located is not difficult to guess, it is near Shrek Academy. The martial souls of all the villagers are chickens, but there are tens of thousands of people on the mainland, and there are many people with the same name and surname. If you look for someone before your martial soul awakens, you may find the wrong person. Secondly, recruiting someone still requires a reason, and Ma Hongjun's innate talent for 9th level soul power is the best reason for Lin Rong to recruit him. Of the Shrek 7 devils, Ma Hongjun is now in Lin Rong's hands, and once Ning Rongrong's spirit shows signs of evolution, Ning Fengzi will never let his daughter go to Shrek Academy. As a result, 2 of the 7 Shrek devils have died, leaving only Daimyu Bei, Zhu Xiuqing, Tang San, Xiao Wu, and Oscar. However, Lin Rong later had other plans for Tang San, and coupled with the butterfly effect brought about by this action, Tang San and Xiao Wu would not appear in Shrek Academy. As a result, only 3 of the Shrek 7 devils were left. If it is true, as the original novel says, that the Academy decided to continue operating because of the recruitment of Tang San and the other 3, then 6 years later, Shrek Academy would have been disbanded on the spot. Tang San is only 6 years old now, and there are still 14 years before the world goes into chaos. The Douluo continent is still too peaceful today. Thinking of this, Lin Rong suddenly opened his mouth and instructed the old housekeeper, Grandpa Yu, after returning home, send someone to Yuxun to deliver a visiting card. We will choose a day to visit Madame Yu. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8: Different Fire Phoenix. Sunset Forest is very close to Xiandao City. More than half an hour later, the carriage that Lin Rong was riding in returned to the gate of the Duke's mansion. When Lin Rong got off the carriage, a guard at the door came forward and reported, "Your Excellency the Duke, the child named Ma Hongjun, the one who awakened the Fire Phoenix spirit, has arrived at your mansion a day ago and settled down safely." Lin Rong listened to the guard's report without much change in expression. He just casually ordered, "Please bring him here. I will meet him in the living room of the main house," as ordered. In the center of the manor, the living room of the main house, Ma Hongjun looked at the man in front of him, who was about his age, with curiosity, and thought, "Is this the Duke that the uncle mentioned? How come he is just a little brat like me? Could it be that the Duke is actually the old man next to him, and this kid who is about my age is his grandson?" Sitting at the main seat, Lin Rong was also curiously looking at the plump little guy in front of him, thinking, she's not as fat as described in the novels. After all, she's only 6 years old and has never experienced anything in life. Her eyes are still very innocent. She's not the prostitute in the novels. Yes, it's a good embryo. As long as I polish it carefully, I can forge a peerless weapon for my use, and my efforts will be worthwhile. Seeing that Ma Hongjun was slow to speak, Lin Rong took the lead and asked, "How is it? The awakened martial spirit has a companion spirit power. Are you happy?" "Yes." Ma Hongjun nodded vigorously after hearing this. The village chief said that if you awaken your soul power, you can become a soul master and live a rich and prosperous life. It is precisely because I have awakened my soul power that the uncle is so kind to me, and I can eat all those delicious things I have never seen before. The uncle you are talking about is the captain of the guard team in my mansion. Do you like him very much?" Lin Rong heard this with a gleam in his eyes. "Yes. Uncle is very nice to me." Ma Hongjun answered without hesitation. Lin Rong was very satisfied with this answer. A 6-year-old child who leaves home can easily become dependent on the person he lives with day and night. As a result, after more than 2 months of getting along with each other, Ma Hongjun developed a deep dependence on the guard in his house. Since you like Captain Su so much, he will be your personal bodyguard from now on. Ma Hongjun was so dependent on the guard that Lin Rong didn't mind giving him a hand. Captain Su is a soul king. Let him protect your safety until you grow up. The guards are loyal to Lin Rong, and the more Ma Hongjun relies on the guards, the easier it is for him to develop loyalty to Lin Rong through the guards' words and deeds. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Rong sensed through his life perception that the soul beasts he had prepared for Ma Hongjun had been delivered to the courtyard. Ma Hongjun's fire phoenix martial spirit was a result of mutation. The phoenix flame was impure, so it produced evil fire. However, the coxcomb phoenix sunflower, which can greatly purify the phoenix flame, is still growing in the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. However, there is a poison array set up by Duuluo outside the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. Although Lin Rong's Vine Dragon Domain's exclusive effect Life Dragon Soul can transform toxins into vitality, he is only at the first level of cultivation. After all, the poison array set up by a titled Douluo is not something that Lin Rong can contend with at the moment. What's more, each kind of immortal herb requires special picking and preservation methods. Apart from Tang San, I'm afraid only the Pazi clan and Zhuhuagwen know the records about these. As for telling Duuluo the method to detoxify in exchange for the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, it would be equivalent to handing one's life over to an old monster who was both good and evil and killed people like crazy. Lin Rong did this because he thought he had lived too long. He didn't believe that he was a time traveler and therefore must be the protagonist, so he would definitely have the protagonist's halo and would seek death at every turn. It is better to rely on oneself than on others. He had to take his time to plot the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. Since the coxcomb sunflower cannot be obtained in a short time, the only option left is for Ma Hongjun to absorb the soul ring of the soul beast with phoenix blood, and purify the phoenix flame by absorbing the phoenix blood. As early as 2 years ago, Lin Rong instructed the old butler to send people to capture a flying soul beast that was about 400 years old and had the bloodline of the phoenix. In 2 years, a total of 5 flying soul beasts that met the requirements were captured. It's no wonder that the flying soul beast with the blood of the phoenix is so beautiful in appearance. And it's quite pleasing to the eye to keep it in the garden. The 5 flying soul beasts with phoenix blood are: red-tailed kite, age 412 years; green-feathered sparrow, lifespan 415 years; white-browed falcon, age 417 years; 5-colored pheasant, lifespan is 421 years; ice flame sculpture, lifespan is 423 years. Among them, the 5-colored pheasant is the richest phoenix bloodline, and its age is approaching the so-called limit year of the first soul ring, which is 423 years. The so-called pheasant is a wild chicken. Ma Hongjun's martial soul was originally a mutation of the domestic chicken's martial soul, so the 5-colored pheasant is the most suitable soul beast among the 5 flying soul beasts to be Ma Hongjun's first soul ring. Of course, the remaining 4 will not be wasted. Lin Rong will instruct the chef to make these 4 soul beasts, together with the 5-colored pheasant that will be killed by Ma Hongjun later, into delicious dishes for Ma Hongjun to eat. Although it is not as direct as absorbing spirit rings, it can more or less have some effect on purifying the starting point of the phoenix flame. In this way, these 5 soul beasts can be said to be fully utilized. Lin Rong had someone hand Ma Hongjun a sharp blade and said to him, "Go ahead. The 5-colored pheasant has been knocked unconscious. Kill it and absorb its spirit ring. Then you will be a true spirit master." Ma Hongjun's innate soul power is level 9, and it has been more than 2 months since he awakened his martial soul. As early as a month ago, Ma Hongjun broke through to the 10th level of soul power by practicing the meditation method taught by the guards, and he had been eager to obtain the soul ring, so Ma Hongjun obediently took the sharp blade, and under the guidance of others, he hit the vital point of the 5-colored pheasant. Ma Hongjun looked at the deep yellow soul ring condensed above the 5-colored pheasant, and a desire from the bottom of his heart suddenly emerged, as if urging him to absorb the soul ring quickly. Release your martial soul to track the spirit ring, then sit cross-legged, focus your mind on your martial soul, and absorb the power of the spirit ring through meditation. Hearing this voice in his ears, Ma Hongjun no longer hesitated and did as the instructions said. The 5-colored pheasant lives for a total of 421 years. In the original novel, Tang San possessed the Zhuanshenguang, and it took him a lot of effort to absorb a nearly 400-year-old Mandragora snake soul ring. Ma Hongjun did not have the Zhuanshenguang, so it took him 20 years longer to absorb the soul ring, so the process of absorbing the soul ring was naturally more difficult. However, Lin Rong was not worried that Ma Hongjun would explode and die. After all, the five-colored pheasant was highly compatible with Ma Hongjun's fire phoenix martial spirit. Moreover, after more than 2 months of dietary supplements, Ma Hongjun's physical strength was able to withstand the impact of the soul ring's power at most. The process of absorbing the soul ring is a little painful, but it can also temper Ma Hongjun's character. Looking at the painful expression on Ma Hongjun's face when he absorbed the spirit ring, Lin Rong thought, only after a period of hardship can a sword become a qualified one. Ma Hongjun, please don't let me down. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Phoenix spreads wings. Phoenix, also known as the colorful bird, the pure phoenix flame, should be a bright red color emitting colorful light, and is called the seven-color divine fire. Similarly, the soul power color of the owner of the fire phoenix martial soul should be the same, but as the owner of the phoenix martial soul, Ma Hongjun's soul power is purple-red, and the purple is so black that the red color is almost invisible. The purple-red soul power, red represents the phoenix flame, and purple represents the evil fire. However, there is almost no red color in Ma Hongjun's soul power, which shows how low the purity of the phoenix flame is. The color ratio is probably more than 1 to 9, with the phoenix flame being 1 and the evil fire being 9. No wonder in the original novel, Ma Hongjun turned into a brothel phoenix. Phoenix flames of such low purity cannot be solved by the soul rings of 1 or 2 soul beasts. With phoenix blood, seeing is believing. Even though Lin Rong was mentally prepared, he was still shocked by the intensity of Ma Hongjun's evil fire. But I remember that high-intensity exercise can also consume evil fire. Now, before obtaining the coxcomb phoenix sunflower, this is the only way to consume the evil fire no matter what. Ma Hongjun must not be allowed to become a prostitute again. Therefore, he needed to tailor a high-intensity training plan for Ma Hongjun, making sure that Ma Hongjun's evil fire was consumed during the training in the manner. Over time, the violent fluctuations of Ma Hongjun's soul power began to calm down, and the purple-red soul power around him also became visibly lighter. Although purple still occupies the vast majority, but compared to before, when one had to look carefully to see the tiny bit of red in the soul power, now one can see the red part of the soul power at a glance. The soul ring had just been absorbed, and Ma Hongjun had not yet completely absorbed the phoenix blood contained in the five-colored pheasant. After a while, Ma Hongjun will completely absorb the phoenix bloodline of the five-colored pheasant, and the purity of the phoenix flame can be further purified on the ground. As the absorption of the soul ring was completed, Ma Hongjun himself also underwent significant changes. Not only did he grow taller, but he also lost a lot of weight. He used to be a chubby boy, but now there is only a little baby fat left on his face. Absorbable soul rings have no effect on weight loss, so there is only one truth, that is, evil fire will make people gain weight. After Ma Hongjun awakened his martial soul, he practiced for only 2 months. The evil fire he produced was not much, and it was all consumed in the process of absorbing soul rings. Naturally, his body shape returned to normal. Come, test your soul power level. As soon as Ma Hongjun opened his eyes, he saw a yellow crystal ball thrown towards him and landed exactly in his hand. Looking at the crystal ball in his hand, Ma Hongjun injected soul power into it. As soul power was injected, the crystal ball also lit up with a layer of pale yellow halo. Peak of level 12, just a little short of level 13. Not bad. Lin Rong made a casual compliment. After Ma Hongjun broke through the 10th level of soul power, he continued to practice for another month. Adding on the 421 years of the five-colored pheasant, it was normal for him to have this level of soul power. Tell me, what is your first soul skill? While asking this question, Lin Rong was still thinking. This time Ma Hongjun's first soul skill should not be Phoenix Fireline, right? Ma Hongjun was stunned for a moment after hearing this, then reacted. My first soul skill is called the Fire Phoenix Arrives. During the duration of this soul skill, the Phoenix Flames will form a defense to protect itself, and the strength of the Phoenix Flames will grow with it. At the same time, the Phoenix Flame's intensity increases by 50%, and its speed increases by 50%. For every additional spirit ring, the effect increases by an additional 5%. As he spoke, Ma Hongjun released the Fire Phoenix to possess the spirit. Unlike the Mohawk-style hair in the original novel, Ma Hongjun now grew long, flowing purple-red hair after being possessed by the Fire Phoenix, but still had no wings. First soul skill, the arrival of the Fire Phoenix. As soon as he finished speaking, the shadow of a fire phoenix appeared above Ma Hongjun's head, and the bright red phoenix flame was faintly shining with colorful light. Then, the phoenix's shadow merged with Ma Hongjun, and a pair of illusory phoenix wings appeared behind Ma Hongjun. Oh wow, I can fly. I can fly. Ma Hongjun subconsciously controlled the wings of the fire phoenix and stumbled into the air. Alice, flying is obviously the inherent ability of the fire phoenix martial spirit, but now we need to rely on spirit skills to fly. What is there to be happy about? Although Lin Rong complained like this, he was still quite satisfied with Ma Hongjun's first soul skill. The fire phoenix martial spirit should have been cultivated in the direction of a turret mage. Ma Hongjun's first soul skill, Fire Phoenix Descent, not only has the defense of phoenix flames, but also the most important output and pulling ability of the turret mage. Fire Phoenix Descent also covers it in the original book. Look at what Flanders turned Ma Hongjun into. The first soul skill is Phoenix Fireline, which is a single target skill with a short distance. The fourth soul skill is Phoenix Roaring Sky Strike. The phoenix, the king of birds, is actually going to launch an attack from the ground from the bottom up. What made Lin Rong speechless the most was that the sixth soul skill, Phoenix Piercing Clouds, obtained by the Divine Soul Ring, which was said to be the soul skill that best suited a soul master, was actually an enhanced version of the fourth soul skill. Now that Ma Hongjun is in Lin Rong's hands, in order to ensure the sharpness of the blade in his hand, Ma Hongjun must not be allowed to follow the old path of the original work above the manor. Ma Hongjun has gone from stumbling to flying more smoothly. This also made Ma Hongjun bolder, and he kept flying higher and higher, forgetting that he had been maintaining the Fire Phoenix's descent and his soul power was constantly being consumed. Soon, more than 5 minutes passed. Ma Hongjun's peak level 12 soul power was completely exhausted. In an instant, the Fire Phoenix's descending state disappeared, and the pair of Fire Phoenix wings behind Ma Hongjun also disappeared. With a scream, Ma Hongjun fell freely in the air on the ground. The guard, who was well prepared, released his martial spirit and added various amplifying skills to himself. He did not let the huge impact force break his arm, but instead caught the falling Ma Hongjun steadily. This means that Ma Hongjun didn't fly high enough. If his height was like Jinrinksu's in the later part of the original novel, a level 98 golden crocodile would have been smashed into a ball of meat paste after using his martial spirit and true body. No one in Lin Rong's small duke's mansion could have caught him. Harmful. Lin looked at Ma Hongjun, who was still in shock, and shook his head helplessly, and ordered, "Take him away and comfort him. Don't let him become afraid of heights as he possesses the Fire Phoenix spirit. Also, take the 5-colored pheasant down to the kitchen and have them cook it and send it to Ma Hongjun's yard." When Ma Hongjun absorbed the soul ring of the 5-colored pheasant, Lin Rong had already checked it and found that no soul bone had exploded while the 5-colored pheasant had just died, and its meat was still fresh. He quickly made it into a delicacy for Ma Hongjun to eat. The right thing to do is to make the best use of things, but you can't keep it for too long, or the meat of the pheasant will deteriorate. I almost forgot. Don't throw away the 5-colored pheasant's feathers. Use these feathers to make a 5-colored pheasant specimen and decorate the manor. This will comfort its spirit in heaven. After saying that, Lin Rong looked at the sky, which was getting dark, stretched himself, and walked towards the direction of the manor hot spring. During the days in Sunset Forest, I simply washed myself with clean water every day. Now that he is back at the Duke's mansion, he wants to soak in the hot springs and relax. As mentioned before, this book only uses the settings of Dao Yi. The setting of Nower is that one can fly after reaching Soul Saint and Dao Yi. In addition to the flying ability that comes with a martial soul, only those who possess the flying soul skill can fly. The Battle of Jialing Pass is the most true portrayal. Most of the title Douluo do not have the ability to fly, even the level 98 Sky Crocodile. Also, Dao Yi has the concept of minutes. There is also a chapter titled 1 Minute of Complete Victory in the original book. End of this chapter. Chapter 10, Night of the 7 Treasures. It's late at night, and the moon is shining brightly. Kibao Glazed Sect, the 7 treasure glazed tower in Ning Rongrong's palm, radiated colorful light, and at the top of the 7th floor, there is an illusory 8th floor tower. Although the shadow was almost transparent and seemed to disappear immediately, if it was any lighter, it actually appeared there. The 7 treasures glazed tower, named after the 7 treasures, has 7 floors, with 1 treasure on each floor, and can only accommodate 7 soul rings. Soul Saint is the highest realm that the possessors of the 7 treasures glazed pagoda martial soul can reach at the same time. The 7 soul skills of the 7 treasures glazed pagoda were also fixed, namely, strength increase, agility increase, soul power increase, defense increase, attack increase, Attribute increase. 7 treasures true body. These 7 soul skills include the 5th soul skill attack amplification, the 6th soul skill attribute amplification, and the 7th soul skill 7 treasures true body. The order of the remaining 4 soul skills is not fixed, and the order of the first 4 soul skills can be determined according to the preference of the martial soul owner. Although the quality of the soul ring cannot change the degree of amplification of the 7 treasures Glazed Pagoda's soul skills, the higher the quality of the soul ring, the less the soul skills consume. Therefore, there is basically a clear goal in obtaining spirit rings. The first choice for increasing strength is the 1010 and the first choice for agility enhancement is the spine. Tailed Swift. The Holy Soul Wood is the best choice for increasing soul power. The Black Tortoise is the first choice for defense enhancement. There is no preferred soul beast for attack and attribute amplification, but the higher the quality, the better. In addition, gem soul beasts are rare, and gem soul beasts that match attack amplification and attribute amplification are even more so. Therefore, no disciple of the 7 treasures Glazed Tile sect has ever absorbed the soul ring of a gem-type soul beast. As a result, over the years, no one in the sect had discovered that the 7 treasures Glazed Pagoda could evolve by absorbing the soul rings of gem-type soul beasts. I owe the Lin family a huge favor this time. If Duke Lin Rong and I were from the same era, perhaps I could also. Ning Feng he sighed ever since he saw the 8th level phantom of his daughter's 7 treasures Glazed Pagoda martial spirit. His eyes have never left it for a moment, even though he knew how to evolve the 7 treasures Glazed Pagoda spirit. Ning Feng's he had already cultivated to level 79, and his 7 spirit rings were full, so this method was naturally ineffective for him. If Lin Rong wasn't the only child of the Lin family, his innate talent of full soul power would be worthy of a Rongrong. When Ning Rongrong heard this, she recalled what happened in the valley during the day and immediately retorted, "Dad, what nonsense are you talking about? There is no way that egomaniac is worthy of me, Alice. You girl." Ning Fengzi smiled helplessly and continued, "Don't worry. There's no way you two can be together, because, as the heir of the sect, your future partner must marry into our 7 treasures Glazed Tile sect. As the only descendant of the Lin family, Lin Rong has the responsibility of carrying on the family line. There is absolutely no possibility for him to marry into the family, but, in this case, it will be extremely difficult to find a talented battle spirit master who is worthy of a Rongrong and who is willing to marry into our family, Zong, the heir of the sect." For some reason, Ning Rongrong suddenly had a bad feeling, so she quickly refused. "Dad, I have so many brothers, it's not my turn to be the heir of the sect." But Ning Rongrong was disappointed. Ning Fengzi shook his head slightly, put away his smile, and said seriously, "Rongrong, your innate soul power is at level 9. This is the first time in the history of the 7 treasures Glazed Tile sect that you have such a talent. Absorbing gemstone spirit rings can certainly allow the 7 treasures Glazed Tower to evolve, but one's own qualifications are also an indispensable key factor. Have you seen that Yu Yuan from the old dragon family? His martial soul was supposed to be the golden holy dragon after the golden iron triangle used the Trinity martial soul fusion technique, but because of his poor aptitude and only half-level innate soul power, his martial soul failed to evolve completely, and he ended up awakening into pig. Perhaps the Glazed Tower with full innate soul power itself has more than 7 treasures, and the innate 9th level soul power is already the limit that the 7 treasure Glazed Tower can reach. Wrong. Your aptitude is only one step away from the evolution of your martial soul, so you have already shown signs of evolution in your martial soul after absorbing only 1 gemstone soul ring. As long as you continue to practice in this way and absorb gemstone spirit rings at every stage of soul master advancement, and with your talent, you will have the hope of evolving the 7 treasures Glazed Tower into the legendary 9 treasures Glazed Tower. At that time, only if you, Rongrong, succeed to the position of sect master, can the 7 treasures Glazed Tile sect be renamed the 9 treasures Glazed Tile sect. Ning Feng's he put his hands on his daughter's shoulders when he said this. What he said next made Ning Rongrong feel that her father's hands on her shoulders were as heavy as 1,000 pounds. Rongrong, you carry the future of the 7 treasures Glazed sect and your father's expectations on your shoulders. From now on, you are the young master of the 7 treasures Glazed Tile sect. You should take it as your responsibility to revitalize the sect. You need to study and practice soul power, the method of controlling the distraction of soul power, social etiquette, and the management of sect affairs. You don't have any extra time to play. Do you understand? I don't want it. Daddy is the most annoying. Ning Rongrong broke free from her father's hands, tears streaming down her face as she looked at the old man with white hair and a youthful face next to her. Grandpa. Jian, you love Rongrong the most. Please speak up for Rongrong, okay? However, the tricks that had always worked in the past didn't work this time. Jian Daoluo Chen couldn't bear to see Ning Rongrong crying, so he turned his head away without saying a word. Seeing this, Ning Rongrong turned to the other side and looked at an old man who was tall but extremely thin. Grandpa. Bone, Rongrong loves you the most. Rongrong, you don't want to have no time to play. Can you persuade Daddy, please? But this time, even Bone Daoluo Rong said, my little princess, it's not that Grandpa Bone won't help you, but you, Ning? Rongrong was struck by thunder and cried bitterly when she heard this. She looked at her father and two grandfathers, stepped back, and shouted with all her might, I hate you guys so much, woo 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 woo. With a clang, Ning Rongrong rushed out of the door, tears flying, and her crying echoed in the dark night. Don't chase them. Ning Fengzi stopped the two old men from chasing after Ning Rongrong and rubbed his head in pain. Uncle Jian, Uncle Gu, you were too indulgent to this girl in the past, which led to her developing the character she has today. This is also my fault. If it weren't for my tacit approval, Rongrong wouldn't have ended up like this, even though he has a bad temper. But the situation is different now. Since Rongrong has the talent and her martial spirit is showing signs of evolution, she should take on the corresponding responsibilities. Just let her cry and vent her emotions, but what happens next is not up to her. End of this chapter. Chapter 11. Yuxuan. Different from the gloomy atmosphere of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect, the Lin family Duke's mansion was as peaceful and tranquil as usual. Today is the 15th day of the lunar month, and the moon is so round. In the open-air hot spring, Lin Rong looked up at the full moon in the starry sky and couldn't help but express his feelings. We should shed tears when we look at the bright moon together, and feel homesick all at the same time. I don't think I'm a sentimental person, but I can't help but miss my family from past and present lives under this full moon. Tang Yuhua, oh Tang Yuhua, how much do you miss your second brother whom you haven't seen for many years? I am a person who is always willing to help others, so let me help you. Day 2. In the most prosperous area in the center of Xiandao City, there is an ancient and elegant building called Yuxuan as the Xiandao Empire's court etiquette school. Yuxuan has been a golden signboard since the moment it was founded because the graduates from Yuxuan are hailed as true aristocrats. The mysterious master of Yuxuan Pavilion, Madame Yu, is said to have an unknown relationship with Xiandao Emperor Zi. Of course, this is just a rumor. In fact, the true identity of Madame Yu is the daughter of the previous generation of Xiaotian Douluo and the younger sister of the two Douluos of this generation, Xiaotian and Xiaotian. Tang Yuho's identity was no secret among the top aristocratic circles. The Lin family, as hereditary dukes, happened to be among them. The top floor of Yuxuan, all the furniture here is made of agarwood, exuding a light and elegant fragrance. A graceful lady in palace dress sat on a wooden chair, looking so dignified and natural. If it weren't for the faint dark circles under her eyes, everything would be perfect. This lady in palace dress is Tang Yuho. At this moment, she casually stroked her eyes with her finger and said, I'm sorry to have embarrassed you, Duke. The moon was so beautiful last night that I couldn't bear to let it go. I never thought that I would have to work all night until dawn, which would cause my appearance to be damaged today. I wonder why the Duke came to Yuxuan. You are still young, and it is not time for you to learn court etiquette. Lin Rong sat on a wooden chair opposite Tang Yuhua, with the old butler standing behind him. After hearing these words, Lin Rong smiled politely and directly stated his purpose. I come here to tell you a piece of news. I believe you will be very interested. Things of interest. After hearing this, Tang Yuhu looked at Lin Rong calmly. Although Lin Rong's temperament was more stable, he was still a 6-year-old child at heart. What could a 6-year-old child say that would interest her? Even if the 6-year-old child in front of her was a duke, I'd like to hear more about it. Tang Yuhu smiled gracefully, picked up a cup of tea from the table and sipped it. This action did not escape Lin Rong's eyes. Although there was nothing wrong with this action in terms of etiquette, Tang Yuhu's behavior clearly showed that she did not take his words to heart. It was just out of politeness that I was willing to take the time to listen to what this 6-year-old kid had to say. But Lin Rong didn't care much about these. After all, everything has two sides. The appearance of a 6-year-old child is not only deceptive, but also easily looked down upon by others. For example, now, Tang Yuhu doesn't believe that Lin Rong has anything that interests her. However, since Tang Yuhu was not in a hurry, Lin Rong followed her example and picked up a cup of tea from the table. He fiddled with the lid with his right hand but did not drink it. Instead, he spoke slowly. More than 2 months ago, one of my guards was on his way to the kingdom of Barak for business, and he passed through a small town in the province of Fresno. That city is called Nodding City. My guard is familiar with a patrol deacon of the Nodding City Wuhan Hall. While the two were talking, the patrol deacon mentioned something. There is a person with full innate soul power in the local Holy Soul village, but unfortunately it is a useless martial soul, blue silver grass. Tang Yuhu lowered her head to sip tea and listened to what Lin Rong said. After hearing the words blue silver grass with innate full soul power, her hands trembled unnaturally. Lin Rong was still fiddling with the teacup in his hand, and he lowered his head. Nodding City is a remote place after all. Even the people in the spirit hall are shallow in knowledge, with full innate soul power. Even if the martial soul is a useless martial soul like blue silver grass, it still has great potential. It is precisely because my guards knew this that they sought information about the civilian child in order to recruit him. The child who awakened his innate full soul power is called Tang San. His father is the only blacksmith in Holy Soul Village. Everyone in Holy Soul Village calls that blacksmith Tang Hao. Crack. A sound. The teacup in Tang Yuhu's hand fell to the ground with a crisp sound, and the tea splashed everywhere, wetting her skirt on the other side. Lin Rong seemed to have seen and heard nothing, and continued to talk about his story. According to the villagers of Holy Soul Village, 6 years ago, a man who claimed to be Tang Hao came to Holy Soul Village with a baby. The village chief Jack of Holy Soul Village felt sorry for them, and the village happened to be in need of a blacksmith, so he let the father and son stay. Madam Yu, as far as I know, your second brother's name is Tang Hao. At the same time, the shocking battle between the former Spirit Hall Pope Jin's Unji and your brother also happened exactly 6 years ago. Although I was still in my mother's womb at that time, I learned from various sources after I was born that the outbreak of this war seemed to be related to a woman, and that woman, if not unexpected, should be Tang San's mother. I don't know why the former pope wanted to compete with your brother for a woman, but he actually got so angry about it. How can the former pope, who is already in his 50s, be so jealous over a woman? I really don't know what to say. After my guard learned that Tang San was the son of Clear Sky Douluo, he gave up the idea of recruiting him and reported the matter to me. When the news came back, I was in Sunset Forest obtaining spirit rings, so I couldn't tell Madame Yu about this matter right away. So, as soon as I returned to the Duke's mansion, I sent someone to Yuxun to hand in the visiting card, and I hurried over the next day. It's a pity for Madame Yu's nephew. Although he inherited his father's talent for cultivation and has an innate full soul power that is rare in 100 years, his martial soul inherited his mother's blue silver grass. This is really strange. The Clear Sky Hammer, the world's #1 weapon spirit, was actually defeated by the blue silver grass in the inheritance of spirit bloodline. Could it be that this blue silver grass has something special about it? Sorry. That got off topic. Excuse me. Madame Yu, are you still interested in this matter? Tang Yuhu is worthy of being the master of Yuxun. She quickly adjusted her mood and returned to her previous elegant and graceful appearance, but Lin Rong knew that Tang Yuhu was just pretending to be calm because he learned through life perception that Tang Yuhu's life breath exuded strong emotional fluctuations. Sorry, I was rude just now. Tang Yuhu's tone seemed calm and composed, but her next words revealed her inner anxiety. Thank you for the news, Duke. Yuhu is very grateful, but I suddenly remembered that I had something important to deal with, so I won't keep the Duke here for long. The goal had been achieved, so Lin Rong naturally would not stay any longer, not to mention that the owner of Yuxun had already started to drive people away. So Lin Rong put down the teacup, stood up and said, "No, since Madam is busy, I won't bother you." After saying that, Lin Rong and the old housekeeper walked down the stairs, intending to go directly back home, but they ran into an unexpected person on the 4th floor of Yuxun. Yuxun holds a term every 3 years. Tang started learning at the age of 39 and completed the 3-year course for others in just 1 year at the age of 20. He played the harp on behalf of the graduating class. Zuke was in the same class as Tang San, so she went to Yuxun when Tang San was 17 years old. Tang San is now 6 years old, and 17 minus 6 equals 11. Therefore, Zuke came to Yuxun to study 11 years later. End of this chapter. Chapter 12, The Art of Language. A young man in his early 20s, wearing a blue cloth robe, stood at the stairs. His long black hair was tied with a blue cloth belt and hung neatly behind his head, giving people a refreshing feeling. This person is none other than the current crown prince of the Sky Dou Empire, Zuking, Duke Lin. I'm honored. Zuking smiled brightly and greeted Lin Rong politely. Lin Rong looked at the person in front of him and was quite surprised. It was her, Jin Rixu. What was she doing in Yuxun? To learn palace etiquette. If you think about it carefully, 11 years later, Zuke, the only princess of the royal family, will also come to Yuxun to learn court etiquette. In this case, even though Jin Rixu is pretending to be the prince, it is not impossible for her to come to Yuxun to learn court etiquette now. The real Zuking should be around 20 years old, and the age matches. So Jin Rixu really came here to learn court etiquette? His Royal Highness, Lin Rong simply greeted him and was about to leave. The plan against Jin Rixu came later, and it was not her turn yet, so Lin Rong did not want to get entangled with her too much to avoid unnecessary trouble. Unfortunately, God did not wish. The fake Zuking was very curious about what could happen when Lin Rong, a 6-year-old child, came to see Tang Yuho. So Zuking, who was full of curiosity, asked in a roundabout way, Duke Lin has just turned 6, and it is still too early for him to learn court etiquette. I wonder why he came to see Madame Yu today. Could it be that Duke Lin admired Madame Yu's beauty at a young age, and therefore came to Madame Yu to confide his true feelings? Hearing this, Lin Rong stopped walking and thought, you are so good, Jin Rixu. Just because I don't want to provoke you doesn't mean I don't dare to provoke you. Since you are so curious, don't blame me for being hurtful. So, Lin Rong leaned on the stair railing, looked down at Zuking, and said softly, His Royal Highness, you are joking, madam. You, as a woman, single-handedly founded such a large family business as Yuxun. She is truly a heroine. My parents have passed away, and Uncle Yu has been supporting the Duke's mansion for these years. In order to take over all the affairs of the Duke's mansion in the future, I came to Madame Yu to seek advice. At this point, Lin Rong changed the subject. However, when talking about heroic women, we cannot help but mention His Holiness the Pope. Over the years, the Spirit Hall has grown stronger and stronger under the leadership of the Pope, which is enough to show how clever his methods are. She is worthy of being the first female Pope in the history of Spirit Hall. The Pope is a daughter, but she holds a high position and manages the Spirit Hall in an orderly manner. Your Highness, you and I are both men. How can we imagine the hardships that are unknown to outsiders? The Pope holds a high position and is very busy, but fortunately he has no children and no worries. Otherwise, if the Pope has children alive, but is too busy dealing with affairs to take care of them, how pitiful it would be for the Pope's children to not have their mother's love. Are you right, Your Highness? Lin Rong's following words were like sharp thorns that pierced Jin Rixu's heart. The face of Zuking, whom she was pretending to be, instantly turned ugly. She clenched her fists and roared madly in her heart, that woman is nothing special. She is just a cook occupying the magpie's nest and stealing the position of Pope from my Jin family. At that time, the Jin family was empty-handed, and I was still young. That woman was just temporarily taking over the position of Pope for me. Also, such a vicious woman is not worthy of being a mother, not worthy. Although Lin Rong did not have the ability to read minds, after reading the original novel, he could roughly guess what Jin Rixu was thinking at the moment. In fact, Jin Rixu desperately longs for maternal love, but she is deeply trapped in it and cannot see her own heart clearly. Seeing that his goal had been achieved, Lin Rong pretended to be slow to react and apologized to Zuking. I'm sorry, Your Highness, I forgot that your mother has already. My words were too hasty just now. Please forgive me, Your Highness. Jin Rixu, who had no love-mindedness, was indeed a great hero. She, who was pretending to be Zuking, quickly calmed down and fought back. No, Duke Lin didn't mean it. Besides, although my mother has passed away, I still have my father who can give me fatherly love. I can also be filial to him and fulfill my duties as a child. Compared to Duke Lin, who lost both his parents, King is already very happy. Both of them said words that touched each other's hearts, but unfortunately, as a time traveler, Lin Rong did not have much affection for the parents whom he had never met in this life. Jin Ringsu's words had no effect at all, but a fake Zhu King in front of him actually still had the mind to fight back. It seemed that he still had fighting spirit and was unwilling to admit defeat in this case. Lin Rong might as well let the crown prince in front of him lose more thoroughly. Therefore, Zhu King did not see Lin Rong's sad expression, so she could not say the comforting words she had prepared. Instead, I saw Lin Rong smiling and saying, "Your Highness, you don't have to pity me. Although my father died before I was born and my mother died of excessive worry, I do not lack family affection. My housekeeper, Grandpa Yu Yuan, is no different from my own grandfather in my heart. With this kind of relationship between grandparents and grandchildren, I had a very happy childhood. On the other hand, Your Highness, your grandfather, the previous emperor, died before you were born. You have never lived with your grandfather, so I'm afraid you can't understand the affection between a grandfather and his grandson. So, Your Highness the Crown Prince will not know how painful it is to not be able to accompany Grandpa." Having said this, Lin Rong turned to the old housekeeper behind him and said, "Grandpa Yu, I'm tired. Can you carry me back?" As he spoke, Lin Rong grabbed the old housekeeper's hand and shook it, just like a grandson acting like a spoiled child to his grandfather. After hearing this, the old butler squatted down, a kind smile appeared on his old face, and he hugged the young master in his arms as they walked down. Lin Rong pulled the old butler's beard and said goodbye to Zhu King with a smile. "Your Highness, Grandpa Yu and I are leaving first. See you later." "See you later," Zhu King responded with a forced smile. Under his sleeves, in his clenched fists, his nails had already pierced deeply into his flesh and blood. He kept reminding himself, hold on, we're on an undercover mission now." Although he missed his grandfather very much, once he went back to Wuhan City to see him, it would mean that he had admitted defeat to that woman. Absolutely not. I volunteered for this mission, and I cannot give up no matter what, because she had to prove to that woman how good she was and how wrong it was for her to abandon her. The streets of Xiandao City are bustling with traffic. Lin Rong sat in the carriage, sensing the intense emotional fluctuations through life, which he had never seen before. He couldn't help but shake his head and thought, if you are so impatient, you will not be able to handle important tasks in the future. Jin Ringsu, I have prepared a huge surprise for you in the future. Please don't get too excited or you might die suddenly. After all, some plans still require your help. End of this chapter. Chapter 13, Changing the Trajectory of Destiny. Lin Rong has already done everything that can be done in the plan. As for the remaining plans, when to carry them out and whether there will be any changes depends on the actual situation in the days to come. The most important thing is to cultivate to level 20 as soon as possible. As for the rest of the trivial matters, Lin Rong plans to leave them to the old housekeeper. Half a month later, Xian Dou Empire, Faznuo Province, Nodding City, Holy Soul Village. In an adobe house. Yu Yuan, how did you know I was here, eh? Slovenly middle-aged man rubbed his eyes in disbelief and looked at the woman in palace dress in front of him in shock. After hearing this, the woman in palace dress raised a bitter smile and tears flowed into her mouth with a salty taste. After a long while, the woman in palace dress asked back, "Is this all you want to ask your sister whom you haven't seen for many years?" These two people are Tang Hao and Tang Yuhua. Brother and sister. Tang Yuhua reached out her hand tremblingly to touch Tang Hao's cheek, but Tang Hao did not dodge. Instead, he showed a gentleness that Tang San had never seen before. "Dad, who is she?" Behind Tang Hao, Tang San could no longer hold back his curiosity. "The woman in front of me is so beautiful, and there is a sense of familiarity that comes from the blood. Could this person be my mother? No, it feels a little off." Tang Hao did not answer Tang San's question. Instead, Tang Yuhua stopped caressing Tang Hao and turned to look at Tang San. "Is this your child and hers?" With just this one sentence, Tang San knew that the woman in front of him was not his mother. "Son, you look like your father." Tang Yuhua stretched out her hand and wanted to touch Tang San's hair, but Tang San dodged her. "Why are you hiding? I'm your aunt," Tang Yuhua said angrily and reached out to Tang San's forehead again. At this time, Tang Hao also explained, "Xiao-san, she is your aunt. Aunt? No wonder there is an inexplicable sense of intimacy in our blood." This time Tang San did not dodge and let Tang Yuhua stroke his hair. "Xiao-san, my nephew, have you lived here with your father all these years?" It was not until this moment that Tang Yuhua noticed the environment of the room and said distressedly, "Your diet has been bad these years, right? Look how thin you have become. But, Xiaotian, don't blame your father. He has never been able to cook since he was a child. Learning to cook porridge in these years is a big improvement. And Tang San pointed to the porridge on the wooden table and explained awkwardly, I cooked this porridge, Tang. Yu was stunned for a moment, then joked, I thought so. The porridge is soft and crispy, and the heat is well controlled. It really doesn't seem like your father's cooking. Okay, Yu, what do you want to see me for? At the side, Tang Hao interrupted the conversation between the aunt and nephew and got straight to the point. What? Tang Yu intensified her tone and asked, now that I've found this place, you're not going to go back, do you know how much father and elder brother miss you? Now, my father is seriously ill and he kept muttering your nickname in his coma. Don't you plan to go back and take a look? Perhaps, after seeing you and Xiaotian, his grandson, father will feel relieved and his illness will be cured. Hearing this, Tang Hao's pupils instantly dilated, and he leaned against the wall tremblingly, remaining silent. After a while, a hoarse voice came out of Tang Hao's mouth. Yu, take Xiaotian back. I owe the sect too much, and I am too ashamed to face my father and elder brother. Xiao San has twin martial spirits, blue silvergrass and clear sky hammer. This is my explanation to the sect. I can't leave here. Can you help me train my mistress, Tang? Yu wanted to say something else, but she heard Tang Hao say firmly, I have made up my mind. No matter what you say, I will not go back with you. Xiao San, come here, Dad. Tang San walked up to Tang Hao. I want you to remember one thing, Dad. You say, there is an irreconcilable feud between us and the Spirit Hall. Irreconcilable. Hatred. What kind of hatred can be irreconcilable? Tang San's brain worked rapidly and he quickly came to a conclusion. Kill your wife? Kill your mother? After figuring it out, Tang San clenched his fists and thought, no wonder his father cried so miserably on the rainy night when he was born. He has never seen his mother. Spirit Hall, you have already sought death by killing my mother. 3 days later, and where is this place? Should we go directly to Xiaotian sect? Tang Sam stood in front of the gate of the soul-hunting forest where the empire was captive and asked curiously. Tang Yu stood beside Tang San and answered calmly and elegantly, this is the soul-hunting forest. Of course, we came here to get your first soul ring. My coachman is a soul king. In this soul-hunting forest where there are only a few thousand-year-old soul beasts, he is more than capable of protecting you and me. In front of the soul-hunting forest gate, the guard respectfully returned a token to Tang Yu, opened the gate and let the 3 people and the 3 of them walk deeper into the forest, and Tang Yu asked again, Xiaotian, for the first soul ring, do you have a favorite soul beast? Tang San just kept shaking his head. What he knew about the Spirit Master system was all from the villagers and Su Yunteo. He knew nothing about it. Seeing this, Tang Yu said sympathetically, it's okay, let your aunt help you with some reference. The most powerful thing about blue silvergrass is its endless vitality. Therefore, we can look for those plant soul beasts with strong vitality to serve as your first soul ring. Yes, wildfires cannot be extinguished. They will spring up again with the spring breeze. Isn't this the characteristic of blue silvergrass? Tang San's eyes lit up and he responded, just do as my aunt says. I think a soul beast like bamboo is good. It has strong vitality, tough bamboo stems, and sharp bamboo leaves. It is simply the ideal and perfect soul beast. Although Tang San said this, in fact, what he wanted most in his heart was the sharpness of the bamboo leaves. If the blue silvergrass could inherit the sharpness of bamboo leaves, wouldn't it be an excellent natural hidden weapon? That's a good idea. You are worthy of being my nephew. You are really smart. Tang Yu praised him and continued, bamboo soul beasts, such as solitary bamboo, sword bamboo, black bamboo. Most bamboo soul beasts meet your requirements, Xiaotian. Then, we just need to find a bamboo soul beast of the right age. The upper limit of a normal person's first spirit ring is a little over 400 years. Xiaotian's first spirit ring can't be too old. It must be at least 350 years old, madam. The Soul King driver said, bamboo loves water and often grows in a warm and humid environment. If we walk along the stream, the probability of encountering bamboo soul beasts will be much higher. End of this chapter. Chapter 14 Butterfly Fluttering Wings. An hour later the 3 of them walked along the stream and entered a bamboo forest, growing in groups, green and thick like ink. These bamboo soul beasts are all black bamboo. The driver looked at the bamboo forest and explained to Tang San and the others, although the bamboo forest is so large, most of the black bamboos have not been cultivated for more than 10 years. The deeper you go into the bamboo forest, the higher the mazu's cultivation will be. Looking at the scale of this bamboo forest, in the deepest part of the forest, there should be black bamboos that have cultivated for 400 years. Sure enough, deep in the bamboo forest, Tang San and his companions found 7 or 8 black bamboos with a cultivation base of about 400 years. The driver observed carefully, found the oldest black bamboo, and cleared all the black bamboos around it. Then, the driver handed Tang San a lit tinderbox and said, "Only the soul beasts that you kill yourself can absorb the soul rings they produce. Just throw this fire stick over there and slowly burn the black bamboo to death." Tang San did as the driver said and threw the fire starter in his hand onto the black bamboo pole. Soon, the flames engulfed the entire black bamboo. The raging fire burned for several hours before the black bamboo with tenacious vitality died completely. A deep yellow soul ring condensed above the dying flame. Seeing this, Tang Yuhu bowed her head and told Tang San, "Go, Xiao-san, do it according to the method I taught you." "Yet," Tang San responded, then walked to the soul ring and sat down, practicing Zhuan Gong to begin absorbing the black bamboo soul ring. Dark place. Tang Hao silently watched Tang San absorb the spirit ring. Seeing that no accidents would happen, he quietly left the soul hunting forest and headed towards the Holy Soul Village. The speed of a tidal Douluo is extremely fast. Even though Tang Hao is not a tidal Douluo of the agility attack system, if he travels at full speed, it will take him less than a day to get back to the Holy Soul Village from the soul hunting forest. A few hours later, what? Tang Hao, who was passing through Nodding City, seemed to have seen something incredible. He, who usually did not show his emotions, actually made a sound of surprise on the streets of Nodding City. A 6-year-old girl with long braids was skipping towards Nodding College, completely unaware that a tidal Douluo was watching her in the dark. A 100,000-year-old transformed soul beast actually appeared here. Is this God's will? If Tang Yuhu had not come to him, Tang San would have gone to Nodding College to study and become a part-time student there like the rabbit. This was how the fate between Tang San and Xiao Wu began. Tang Hao was conflicted, but hatred eventually prevailed. Xiao San and Yu Hu left together, so Xiao San and this rabbit are just not meant to be together after all. Ah. Yin, I'm sorry. This rabbit can be of great help to Xiao San. The enemy of the spirit hall is too strong. I can only do this. After making up his mind, Tang Hao acted quickly and kidnapped the girl with long braids on the street. His attack was so fast that no passerby could see it clearly, so passers-by wondered if they were having an illusion, because there was clearly a little girl walking on the street just now outside the Holy Soul Village, in a cave somewhere. Tang Hao looked at the unconscious girl and comforted himself. It is natural for soul masters to hunt soul beasts. Although you have transformed into a human like Yin, you have not yet reached maturity and cannot be considered a real person. I didn't mean to do this. You showed up in front of me on your own. You can't blame me. When Xiao San obtained your spirit ring and spirit bone, it also completed the fate between you and Xiao San. After saying that, Tang Hao put the girl into a soul guide that could store living things, stared in a certain direction for a long time, and finally left the cave. Not in college. Today is the first day of the school year. A middle-aged man with a decadent temperament stood at the entrance of the school, feeling that he had missed something important. Is it my imagination? You Xiaogang whispered imperceptibly, then laughed bitterly and said self-deprecatingly, "What am I expecting?" Somewhere in the academy, an ordinary middle-aged man was secretly watching all this. Not long after, above the clouds, a spine-tailed swift with a cultivation base of just over 100 years old flew rapidly. If someone could see this scene, they would find that there was a letter tied to the feet of this spine-tailed swift, and it was flying towards Xiandao City. A few days later, Lin's Duke's mansion. Lin Rong put down the secret letters in his hand, and a soul power appeared in his palm. The next moment, all the secret letters turned into powder and scattered in the wind. Grandpa, you tell the secret sentries to keep a closer eye on the situation. Unless there are any emergencies, they only need to report once a month. Also, train more spine-tailed swifts. The Min clan is destined to be impossible for me to use, so I have to put more effort into this. For any force, having a well-developed and complete intelligence network is crucial. I understand, young master. Please rest assured. The old butler responded and immediately set about arranging these matters. The spine-tailed swift is the fastest flying soul beast known in Douluo continent, bar none. Even the emerald bird, which is famous for its speed, is far inferior to the spine-tailed swift with the same level of cultivation, but everything has its pros and cons. Unlike the emerald bird, which has both extreme speed and terrifying attack power, the spine-tailed swift's extreme speed is achieved at the expense of its lethality to the enemy. The Min clan, which has the spine-tailed swift martial spirit, has all its members as pure mind-type spirit masters. Although it does not have offensive capabilities, it is an excellent sentinel. The Min clan has such strategic value, but no force in the entire continent is aware of it. It can only be said that the thinking of people in this era is still too limited. The Min clan has great potential value, but Lin Rong has no intention of recruiting them. It's just because Bai, the patriarch of the Min clan, is Tang San's uncle, and has blood ties with a Xiaotian sect. 4 clans with single attributes: strength, defense, destruction, and agility. The leader of the strength clan, Titan, is a die-hard fan of Tang Hao, and the leader of the agility clan is Tang San's uncle. This time, 2 of the 4 were gone. Among them, Titan has a very deep friendship with Nia Gao, the patriarch of the Yu clan, and Bai he has a very good relationship with Yang Wudi, the patriarch of the Po clan. If Lin Rong successfully recruited the Yu and Po tribes and they did not oppose Tang San, it would be fine. But once they did, because of Titan and Bai, these 2 tribes would most likely rebel. So, Lin Rong decided not to recruit any of these 4 clans with single attributes. However, whether you recruit or not, you can't avoid dealing with them. Apart from anything else, there's something on Bai he that Lin Rong is determined to get. There is also a list of medicinal herbs of the Pui clan, detoxification pills, etc., which are related to the plan for the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, a rare treasure land. The remaining Li and Yu clans are much less valuable. The Li clan is good at forging, and the Yu clan is good at construction. These skills are not exclusive to these 2 clans. They are just outstanding, but not unique. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 15. 1 Years in a Hurry. By chance, fate brings things together. The splashes of water caused by Lin Rong changed the original trajectory of the world. Tang San and Tang Yuho returned to the Xiaotian sect because of issues related to Tang Hao. Tang San had a serious conflict with several elders of the Xiaotian sect. The 6-year-old Tang San was not a level 59 soul king as described in the original novel, but a level 13 soul master. Therefore, it was no surprise that Tang San was reprimanded by the pedantic elders. Tang Yuho only has level 9 soul power and is unable to stop it. Tang Xiao himself was a bit pedantic and wanted to stop it, but he didn't dare to because the other party was his elder. This conflict caused the illness of the old leader of Xiaotian sect. The father of Tang Xiao, Tang Hao, and Tang Yuho, and Tang San's grandfather, to flare up, and he died naturally. The elders of the Xiaotian sect pushed all the faults onto Tang San. As a result, Tang San was kicked out of the Xiaotian sect before he even spent a full day. As for Tang San having twin martial spirits, in the words of the 7th elder of Xiaotian sect, twin martial spirits? So what, when this bastard can resolve the conflict between the twin martial spirits, it won't be too late to come back and say this. After this battle, Tang San wanted to return to Tang Hao, but was rejected by Tang Yuho, who took Tang San back to Yuxuan. Xiao San, Yuxuan will be your home from now on. Correspondingly, Xiao Wu was captured and raised by Tang Hao because she had never met Tang San, in the hope that Tang San would kill this 100,000-year-old transformed soul beast with his own hands in the future and absorb its soul rings and soul bones. Xiao Wu was locked in a soul guide that could store living things. Even the daily feeding was thrown directly into the soul guide by Tang Hao, leaving Xiao Wu no chance to come out. Duh. Ming, where are you? Why don't you come and save me? Xiao Wu regretted it very much. She never thought that in such a remote place, there would be a soul master above the soul Douluo level Kibao glazed sect. Young master, the key to practicing the distraction control method is, you need to, the next step is, well, I've been studying for several hours. Can I take a break, young sect master? I'm afraid that won't work. The sect master has instructed that we must concentrate on our studies during study time. It will soon be time for a break. Is that rest time? That's clearly training time. The master said that meditation is rest, Allen's Duke's Mansion, Hongjun. This is a training plan tailored specifically for you. Come and take a look, Ma. Hongjun looked at the densely packed words on the white paper and his hands couldn't help but tremble. Uncle, look, no, Hongjun. The Duke said that your mutant martial soul will produce evil fire after training, and high-intensity training is the only solution without side effects at present. You don't want to become a fat man or even be burned to death by evil fire in the future, do you? No, I don't want to become like that. When do we start training? For the sake of handsome looks and slim figure, he risked everything. Hongjun, don't worry. The training place is not here, and the training volume is increased little by little. You don't have to worry about exceeding your limit. Barak Kingdom, Shrek Academy. Oscar was lying on the ground, feeling extremely bored. The warm sunshine shining on his body made him feel very comfortable. Alice, there are no junior students joining me this year. When will my lonely days end, without a pretty schoolgirl? What's the point of having a handsome face? Let my beard cover my handsome face. When my junior high school girl comes, I will shave it off. After all, shaving is such a hassle. Time flies by in a flash. 1 year later, ever since Lin Rong awakened the 9-curved vine dragon martial spirit, he had someone clear out a piece of land in the manor and planted a banyan forest on the land. In addition to banyan trees, the banyan forest also has a large number of vines growing alongside them. This is the mimetic training ground. Over the past year or so, Lin Rong basically stayed in this banyan forest to practice the washing Marrow Sutra to improve his soul power simultaneously after absorbing the breath of the 9-curved vine dragon. These banyan trees and vines grew more luxuriantly and did not look like they had only grown for over a year. To complement this, the banyan forest, as a simulated training site, is also gradually increasing its effect in assisting training deep in the banyan forest, under a particularly lush banyan tree. Lin Rong exhaled a breath of foul air and woke up from his practice. Very good. At only 7 years and 3 months old, his soul power has broken through to level 20. Although the banyan heart increased my total soul power by 50%, it also reduced my cultivation speed by a lot. But so what? I still reached level 20 before I was 8 years old. In 1 year and 3 months, my soul power has increased by 5 levels, an average of 1 level of soul power every 3 months. The training speed is 4 levels a year. I don't know how Hongjun is doing. A letter came in last month saying that his soul power level is at the peak of level 16. From the peak of level 12 to the peak of level 16, I advanced 4 levels in 14 months, which means an average of 1 level every 3.5 months, which is barely close to the training speed of 3.5 levels a year. Now that a month has passed, Hongjun should have broken through to level 17. Hongjun's martial soul is the fire phoenix, so the most suitable mimicry training ground for him is naturally the volcano. Coincidentally, there is a group of volcanoes in the Xiaotian Royal Soul Master Academy anyway. Those playboys in the college never go there, so it would be a waste if not used. Therefore, Lin Rong asked Guard Suit to bring Hongjun to live there for a long time, and they would complete their daily practice and various training tasks there. The Xiaotian Royal Soul Master Academy covers an astonishingly large area, and its various hardware and software facilities are ranked first among all the Soul Master Academies in the Sky Dou Empire, and it has a huge gap with the second place. However, the academy only accepts children of aristocrats, resulting in the quality of students being mostly uneven. And a considerable number of students are a group of second-generation rich. This group of second-generation rich people treated Xiaotian Royal College as their back garden and often brought outsiders to the college to seek pleasure. This resulted in the academy, which was already poorly guarded, becoming as leaky as a sieve. Therefore, Hongjun and the other man, holding Lin Rong's Duke's token, arrived at the volcano group unimpeded. Lin Rong would send people to deliver the various supplies they needed every month, and at the same time understand Hongjun's cultivation progress over the past year. Hongjun has had no resistance to the high-intensity training tailored for him because Lin Rong had someone take Hongjun to see several fat and ugly men and told him, if you don't consume your evil fire through high-intensity training, you will become like this in the future. This immediately made Hongjun full of motivation for training, and he enjoyed it very much. Such hard practice and training, and the blessing of the volcano as a simulated training venue, Hongjun was able to achieve a cultivation speed of 3.5 levels a year, relying solely on his 9th level innate soul power. There are no disadvantages to having twin martial spirits in Douluo, but there are disadvantages in Douluo. Moreover, Only the divine test can solve this problem. Although this issue is not pointed out in the original book, there is no specific explanation. However, both Bibi Dong and Tang San began to practice their second martial spirits after becoming the inheritors of gods. End of this chapter. Chapter 16 Hidden Weapon. The speed of cultivation is nearly 3.5 levels a year, and the soul power cultivation level is at the peak of level 16 or just entering level 17. This is Ma Hongjun's achievement in the past year. I don't know which one is better compared to the current Tang San. Speaking of Tang San, he has been living a very comfortable life in Xiandao City over the past year. Not only does he have an aunt like Tang Yuho who cares about him, but he also gains the loyalty of the Li clan as early as a year ago. As soon as the news of the nephew of Lord Yuxun came out from Xiandao City, Tai Tan, a die-hard fan of Tang Hao, came to visit him immediately. The Li clan was once a vassal of the Xiaotian sect, and Titan, as the clan leader, was quite familiar with the inner workings of the Xiaotian sect. Tang Yuho has only two older brothers, Tang Xiao and Tang Hao. Tang Xiao has no wife or children, but Tang Hao is suspected to have a wife. Therefore, in Titan's view, the nephew next to Tang Yuho must be his master's son. After Titan saw Tang San and confirmed that he was correct, he immediately made Tang San his young master and gave his entire Li clan to him. Therefore, Tai Long became Tang San's follower 7 years earlier than in the original novel. The Power Clan was good at forging, and with their help, Tang San handed over the forging of the hidden weapon parts to the Power Clan, while he completed the assembly himself. Therefore, the progress in Tang Sec's hidden weapons is far ahead of the original work. In addition, the humiliation Tang San suffered in the Xiaotian sect made him realize the power of the Soul Master system and the importance of his own strength. Therefore, Tang San is much more diligent in cultivating his soul power than in the original novel. 2 months ago, Lin Rong once met Tang San at an auction in Xiandao City. It is said that wealth and power nourish people at that auction. Tang San didn't look like a country boy at all. Instead, he looked like a leader of a powerful force at that time. Lin Rong used life perception to see that Tang San's soul power level was level 16 in his previous life. Many people believe that Tang San's innate full soul power was cultivated through practicing Zhuangdiangong, but with Zhuangshengguang, it makes no difference even if this innate full soul power is fake. There is Tang Yuhu's popular science and Tang San's own personality. His first soul ring is definitely around 400 years old, so his soul power level after absorbing the soul ring is level 13, the same as in the original book. By this calculation, Tang San improved his soul power by 3 levels in a little over a year and a month. And his training speed was nearly half a level lower than Ma Hongjun, but Lin Rong knew that this was only temporary. As the level of Zhuangshengguang improves, Tang San will gradually open up the 8 extraordinary meridians in his body every time a meridian is opened. The speed of cultivation will increase in that auction. The main items were the Tang Sec's hidden weapons. Unsurprisingly, those hidden weapons, which were extremely powerful and had almost no threshold for use, attracted Ning Fengzi's attention, and it was natural for Tang San to get in touch with the 7 treasures glazed tile sect. Similarly, when Ning Fengzi learned that Tang San was the inventor of these hidden weapons, he immediately thought of recruiting him. There was even a thought of betrothing Ning Rongrong to Tang San, so as to completely tie Tang San to the 7 treasures glazed tile sect's ship. But soon, when Ning Fengzi learned that Tang San's true identity was Tang Hao's son, the admiration and recruitment in his eyes instantly turned into subtle murderous intent. But due to various concerns, without the acquaintance of Ning Rongrong and Tang San, Ning Fengzi still did not choose to take action, just like in the original book. Instead, he reached a deal with Tang San. Tang San got 5 million gold soul coins, and Ning Fengzi got 100 sets of hidden weapons, and both of them felt that they had made a good deal among them. Tang San really made a profit. Although the Li clan had a rich family background, they also had to support a large number of clan members, and Yuxun's income also had to be used to supply the Xiaotian sect's material consumption. This resulted in Tang San not having many gold soul coins at his disposal, and the 5 million gold soul coins that Ning Fengzi gave to Tang San had a net profit of 99%, which was simply a huge profit. In contrast, Ning Fengzi suffered a loss because he planned to ask a skilled craftsman to disassemble the hidden weapon and then imitate it, but unfortunately, all the hidden weapons sold were insured by Tang San without the Tang Sec's unique disassembly techniques. Once an outsider disassembles the weapon, the safety will be triggered, and all the key parts of the hidden weapon will be damaged and can no longer be reassembled. Even the master craftsman Li Gao was unable to disassemble the hidden weapon's parts intact without the Tang Sec's unique disassembly techniques, not to mention the rest. Therefore, although Ning Fengzi's plan was good, he ultimately underestimated the insurance measures of the Tang sect in another world. In the original novel, It can be said that 5 million gold soul coins were used to buy the kilo tulip. Whether the counterfeiting of the hidden weapon succeeds or not, the 7 treasures glazed tile sect will make a profit, but this time, the kilo tulip still grows in the eyes of Binghuo Liangai and Ning Fengzi used 5 million gold soul coins to buy those 100 sets of hidden weapons. It was a complete loss. Although Ning Fengzi could understand the matter of hidden weapon insurance, his murderous intent towards Tang San inevitably increased a bit. The Tang sect's hidden weapons are divided into mechanical hidden weapons and technical hidden weapons. Mechanical hidden weapons, such as Buddha's Wrath Lotus, Stormy Pear Blossom Needle, Peacock Feather. Most of the mechanical hidden weapons are mixed with poison and are used by the outer disciples of the Tang sect. They are not presentable, of course. A few mechanical hidden weapons such as the Buddha's Wrath Lotus are excluded. Hidden weapons, such as Batwing Reincarnation, Bodhi Blood, Guanyin Tears. All the techniques and hidden weapons require the coordination of many Tang sect's unique skills, such as Zhuanshan Guang and Zhuan Yuan, to be used as for the Tang clan's unique skills such as Zhuangtian Guang. Only the direct disciples of the Tang clan's inner sect are qualified to learn them. Therefore, the hand-to-hand hidden weapon is a high-end hidden weapon exclusively for the inner disciples of the Tang sect. Lin Rong could ignore the rest of the Tang sect's hidden weapons, but he was extremely wary of the Guanyin Tears. After all, the power of Guanyin's Tears in the original book is enough to kill gods, but fortunately, as the Tang sect's #1 technique, the conditions for using Guanyin's Tears are extremely harsh. If one wants to use the Tears of Guanyin, all the unique skills of the Tang sect, such as the mysterious heavenly skill, the mysterious jade hand, the purple demon eye, the ghost shadow, etc., must be practiced to the highest level, not to mention other conditions, just the highest level of Zhuangtian Guang. The 3 flowers gathering at the top of the head requires Tang San to have a soul power cultivation level of at least level 95 combined with other harsh conditions. Lin Rong only needs to make it impossible for Tang San to ever meet one of the conditions, and then Tang San will never be able to cast the Avalokitesvara Tears that is said to never fail. Although Guanyin Bodhisattva is the incarnation of great compassion but is a true Buddha who has seen through the worldly affairs, how could he shed tears over worldly affairs? Besides, it is extremely disrespectful for ordinary people to make Guanyin cry. Therefore, it is better for things like Guanyin's Tears to only exist in Tang sect legends. Cut off hands, gouge out feet, dig out eyes. All of these can prevent Tang San from using the Avalokitesvara Tears. Which one is more merciful? We'll see when the time comes. If there's one that doesn't please us, we'll just get rid of it. Many people speculate that Zhuanshan Guang, as an authentic Taoist technique, should not appear in a sect like the Tang sect. It makes sense logically, I think so too, but the strange thing is that, as the core inherited techniques and hidden weapons of the Tang sect, they all require the internal force of Zhuangtian Gong to be used. It is possible that the Tang sect originally only had hand-type hidden weapons, and mechanical hidden weapons were developed later, because although the hand-to-hand concealed weapon is called a hidden weapon, in essence it is more similar to the highly skilled martial arts such as transferring flowers and jade and finger magic. End of this chapter. Chapter 17. The whereabouts of the 5th soul ring. It is midsummer and it is noon again, except for the far north. The climate in other parts of the continent is scorching hot. Xiandao Royal Academy, the volcanic group mimicry training ground, Hongjun. It's summer now. If the temperature of this volcano breaks the upper limit, even a soul king like me won't be able to stand it if I stay there for a long time. At the crater, a burly old man said to the red-haired boy beside him, the amount of training will be reduced in the next few months, and then resumed when autumn arrives and the temperature on the volcano drops. The rolling lava waves coming from the crater are like a natural sauna. However, in just 2 sentences, the person who spoke wiped the sweat from his forehead no less than 4 times. Is it hot? I think it's fine. At the edge of the crater, the red-haired boy was emitting a purple-red halo all over his body, and his long hair fluttered with the heat waves of the magma. Although his face was not handsome, he had regular features and a strong body. No one could have imagined that this person was the fat brothel girl Ma Hongjun in the original novel. Uncle Su, have you forgotten that my martial soul is the fire phoenix, which has a strong adaptability to extremely hot environments? You'd feel overwhelmed if you stayed here for too long, but I feel very comfortable. After hearing this, Guard Su Pen scratched his head embarrassedly and said, I was blinded by one thing. I only thought that you were just a level 10 spirit master and forgot that your spirit was the fire phoenix. Su Pen couldn't help revealing envy in his words. The fire phoenix was a top-level beast spirit. Even if it was a flawed fire phoenix, It was still not comparable to his ordinary rock-horned bull spirit. He was already in his early 40s when he broke through to Soul King, and his cultivation to Soul Emperor was probably the end of his life as expected. Hongjun will be able to cultivate to the legendary title Douluo realm. I don't know how the Duke knew that someone in the Bara Kingdom had awakened the Fire Phoenix martial spirit while Su Pan was thinking. He was also blown by the heat waves gushing out of the crater, which was really unbearable, so he found a place to sit away from the crater, endured the hot weather, and calmed down to meditate and practice. The high temperature of the volcano makes the vitality of heaven and earth in this area extremely active. If you meditate and cultivate your soul power here, the speed of cultivation will be much faster than in ordinary places. Of course, the prerequisite is that the practitioner can endure the high temperature here. Hongjun can advance nearly 3.5 levels a year with just his innate 9th level soul power. In addition to the blessing of the mimicry venue, the active vitality of heaven and earth is also an extremely critical link. 3 days ago Hongjun's soul power level broke through from the peak of level 16 to level 17, and there were only 3 soul power levels left away from level 20. He firmly believed that within a year, he would be able to break through to level 20. I am now 7 years and 7 months old, and I will be 8 in 5 months. It is impossible for me to break through to the Great Soul Master level before I turn 8. I wish I could have met Uncle Su on my 6th birthday. When Hongjun awakened his martial soul, he was already 6 years and 2 months old. If he could meet Su Pan on the day he turned 6, there would still be a slight possibility that he could break through to level 20 before the age of 8. I have already broken through to level 17. I wonder how that master is doing with his cultivation. A quiet courtyard under the pavilion, Lin Rong leaned on the railing, occasionally picking up cakes from the celadone plate and throwing them into the water, causing a group of koi to scramble for food while feeding the koi. Lin Rong asked, "Grandpa, is my second spirit ring somewhere in the pavilion?" The old butler looked ashamed and replied softly, "This old servant is incompetent. There is no news yet, Grandpa. You don't blame yourself." Lin Rong turned around, looked at the ashamed look of the old housekeeper, and comforted him. "It's not that you are incompetent, it's that my requirements are too high. Soul beasts with space attributes are rare, not to mention that what I need is a plant soul beast with space attributes. If you really can't find one that meets my requirements, you can relax the age limit for soul beasts. The previous requirement was more than 900 years and less than 1,000 years. Now, the requirement is changed from more than 900 years to more than 800 years. If there is still no result, I will go to the Star Forest myself and try my luck." The second soul ring that Lin Rong needs is a plant soul beast with space attributes. The plant soul beast is compatible with the 9-bend vine dragon, and the plant soul beast has special attributes. Plus the 9-bend vine dragon's own martial soul level. There is a high probability that Lin Rong will obtain a soul skill with extremely strong life-saving ability. Only in this way can Lin Rong have the confidence to carry out the next plan. As for the banyan heart soul skill, transplanting flowers and grafting trees, the cooldown time is too long, so it can only be used as a life-saving trump card. Lin Rong will not use it unless it is absolutely necessary among soul beasts. Those with spatial attributes are extremely rare. There are only a few types of soul beasts that are born with spatial attributes, and the rest basically have acquired spatial attributes through mutation. Although there are many types of plant soul beasts, no one has yet discovered one that possesses innate special attributes. The only record is that bamboo and gourd vine are the 2 types of soul beasts most likely to mutate into special attributes. Moreover, the higher the level of cultivation, the greater the probability of acquiring special attributes through mutation. However, banyan trees are required to be less than 1,000 years old, and the probability of special property mutation is extremely low. That is why it is so difficult to find secret guards, and no one who meets the requirements has been found so far. Lin Rong understood that this move was indeed a bit tasty, but there was nothing he could do about it. Soul masters have 9 soul rings: the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th. The spirit rings in these 5 positions are extremely important. The 1st soul ring and the 9th soul ring are the beginning and end of a soul master. The 3rd soul ring and the 5th soul ring, one is the first 1,000-year soul ring, and the other is the first 10,000-year soul ring. Play a connecting role. The 7th soul ring, as the true form of the martial soul, is of paramount importance. Therefore, as the 3rd soul ring that plays a connecting role, It is best to take it from a soul beast that has a great connection with the martial soul. Lin Rong's 9-curved vine dragon martial soul is a fusion and mutation of the dragon soul vine and the 1,000-leaf banyan. The first soul ring was taken from Kainai banyan and obtain the ultimate soul skill of Dragon Soul Awakening. It would be best if the third soul ring could also be taken from the Dragon Soul Vine, but the Dragon Soul Vine itself is also a mutated martial soul and almost does not exist in the Soul Beast Forest. Therefore, Lin Rong's request for the third soul ring took a backseat if Dragon Soul Vine is not available. Azure Ivy, its mutated predecessor, is also an excellent choice when the third soul ring has been determined. If Lin Rong does not obtain the space-type soul skills in the second soul ring, he will have to wait until the fourth soul ring comes to obtain it. The plans that have been made will also be delayed until that time. In order not to hinder the overall situation, Lin Rong must obtain the space-related soul skills he wants in the second soul ring. End of this chapter. Chapter 18. Star Forest. Star Forest is the largest gathering place for soul beasts in the entire continent. Its area is almost equal to the land area of the Barak Kingdom. Its territory spans the borders of the Sky Dou Empire and the Duuluo Empire. The vast forest area has given rise to various complex terrains, such as wetlands, swamps, cliffs, lakes, etc. Thanks to such complex and diverse terrain, there are extremely many types of soul beasts living in the starred out Great Forest, except for a few kinds of ice-attributed soul beasts that only live in the far north. Basically all the known soul beasts on the continent can be seen in the starred out Great Forest. Therefore, there has been a saying to describe the Star Forest since ancient times: any soul master, regardless of his martial soul or attribute, as long as he is strong enough and lucky enough, can find the soul ring that suits him best. Here, as the saying goes, you can rely on mountains to eat mountains, and you can rely on water to eat water. The prosperity of the starred out Great Forest and the development of the Soul Master system have led to the emergence of many prosperous trading towns near the starred out Great Forest. In one of the small towns, a team of horse-drawn carriages drove through the streets of the town. Soon after, the carriage stopped in front of a house. Lin Rong got off the carriage, looked in the direction of the Zingdao Great Forest, and said with emotion, "After all, I have to go there myself." After that day, Lin Rong waited in the mansion for another month, but still received no news. There was no way out. Time waits for no one, so Lin Rong had to go there in person. I hope this trip will turn out well and he can get what he wants. In front of the house, the captain of the secret guard, who had been waiting here for a long time, bowed and saluted, then presented a scroll with both hands. "Your Excellency the Duke, this submap marks where most of the bamboo and gourd vines in the starred out Great Forest grow, as well as some places where they are suitable for growth. There our soul power marks on the map. The more marks there are in a place, the more times the secret guards have searched it before, and the more carefully they have searched. Therefore, it would be better for Your Excellency the Duke to search in places with fewer soul power marks." "Well, thank you for your hard work." Lin Rong nodded slightly, took the map presented by the secret guard, took a look at it, put it away, and ordered, "It's getting late. Let's rest early and follow me into the Star Forest tomorrow morning." "Yes, we understand." The secret guards answered in unison. At the same time, located in another small town within the kingdom of Barak, the three travelers checked into a simple hotel. After a long journey among the three, the leader was an extremely sturdy middle-aged man, and the one next to him was a thin and sloppy old man. Behind the old man followed a short man with a thick beard. The man had such a thick beard, but upon closer inspection his face looked very young and handsome, especially his pair of peach blossom eyes, which have extremely powerful killing power on those young girls who are not very worldly wise. A thick beard, a handsome face, and a pair of misty peach blossom eyes with such distinctive features. Who else could it be but Oscar? The sloppy old man in front of Oscar is his master, the food-type soul saint Xiaotian. Finally, the sturdy man in the lead was the famous Akalanatha Zhaowuji. Oscar, who is over 9 years old, broke through to level 20 in soul power 2 days ago in order to obtain Oscar's second soul ring. Zhaowuji took him to the Zingdao Great Forest to hunt souls. Oscar was not yet 10 years old at the time, and Xiaotian was worried about him going to the Zingdao Great Forest to hunt souls alone with Zhaowuji, so he followed along. This made Zhaowuji complain in his heart, "Xiaotian, although you are a soul saint, you are just a food-type soul master with no combat ability. Originally, I was more than capable of protecting Oscar alone, but with you as a burden, I am under tremendous pressure. Do you know?" During this period, Zhaowuji cursed Flanders in his heart many times. As the dean of the academy, he did not know how to help the disciples when they were hunting souls. Moreover, the Shenlong is missing all day long. just to find a person with outstanding talent of bird martial spirit, so that he can take him as a disciple and inherit his mantle in the original novel. Flanders was lucky enough to find Hongjun, a disciple who could inherit his mantle, but now Hongjun was intercepted in advance by Lin Rong's men. Flanders is naturally still looking for a satisfactory successor in the hotel. Perhaps it was because Hao Wuji's resentful gaze was too hot. Xiaotian, who had his back to him, felt a chill on his neck. He turned around, smiled apologetically, and said, "Okay, I'll pay for the hotel and I'll also pay for the dinner tonight. So, quickly take away that look in your eyes, it's making me terrified, okay?" Zhao Wuji heard this and patted Xiaozin's shoulder with his big, broad hand. He said, "Old Xiao, this is what you said, so I won't be polite tonight. No, you can eat more food, but don't drink too much wine." Xiaozin rubbed his painful shoulder from Zhao Wuji's pad and said seriously, "If you get drunk, who will protect Xiao Ao and me, an old man who is powerless, when we enter the starred-out Great Forest tomorrow?" After saying these words, Xiaozin's gaze returned to Oscar again, his caring eyes mixed with endless obsession, as if he was looking at a rare work of art. Xiaozin's words left Zhao Wuji speechless. After a while, he responded, "Weak as a kite? So you know you need my protection, too, since you knew that, you still had to come along and cause trouble. Do you think I'm easy to bully, old Zhao?" As he spoke, Zhao Wuji waved his fist in pretended anger. Xiaozin and Zhao Waoqi have known each other for many years, so he could naturally tell whether Zhao Waoqi was really angry or just pretending to be angry. Therefore, he didn't care much about Zhao Waoqi's punch and didn't even turn his head. But Oscar is different. He only lived in Shrek Academy for more than 3 years, and did not interact with Zhao Wuji very often. Therefore, when Oscar saw this situation, he failed to realize that Zhao Waoqi was pretending to be angry, and thought he was really angry. Seeing that the situation was so bad, Oscar's eyes rolled around and he immediately had an idea. So Oscar spoke up at the right time to smooth things over for his master Xiaozin. "Teacher Zhao, how about this? Tonight, please order a pot of wine and have a drink with some snacks. After we return from hunting souls, how about you have a good drink with me? Of course, the money for the wine doesn't need to be paid by you, but by my master, Zhao." Waoqi was just pretending to be angry and just walked down the steps Oscar handed him. At the same time, he also envied his old friend Xiaozin. Although Zhao Waoqi looks strong and simple-minded, he has a delicate mind beneath his rough appearance. Therefore, Zhao Wuji knew that Oscar said those words just now in order to protect his master Xiaozin. This made him understand why Flanders was so eager to find a disciple. End of this chapter. Chapter 19, Artemisia Selingensis. Shortly after the waiter brought the food and drinks to the table, because Zhao Waoqi was preoccupied, he did not say a word during the meal and just focused on eating. Xiaozin focused all his attention on Oscar and did not notice anything unusual about Zhao Waoqi. Oscar did notice the strange atmosphere at the dinner table, but due to his age and experience, he didn't understand why the three of them quickly finished their dinner and went back to their hotel room to sleep. Day 2, Lin Rong and his group entered the Sky Dou Great Forest in the Sky Dou Empire, while Oscar and his 3 companions entered the Sky Dou Great Forest in the Barra Kingdom. The Xingdao Great Forest is located directly south of the Sky Dou Empire, and the Barra Kingdom is to the southeast. The Sky Dou Empire was connected to the territory of the Barra Kingdom. Therefore, the locations of Lin Rong and Oscar's groups in the Sky Dou Great Forest are roughly in the same area. But even so, given the vastness of the Sky Dou Great Forest, the distance between them is at least 700 or 800 kilometers. Normally speaking, Lin Rong and his group would not meet Oscar and his 3 companions, but the area where Oscar and the other 2 were located happened to be a place that the secret guards searched less frequently. As luck would have it, the search route that Lin Rong planned after unfolding the map turned out to be the area where Oscar and the other 2 were walking in the Star Forest. Fresh air blew towards us, the smell mixed with the fragrance of grass and soil, making people subconsciously forget that this is the primeval forest where soul beasts roam, and thus inadvertently let down the guard just on the outskirts. There is not a single tall tree around that is less than 20 meters tall. The dense forest is overgrown with weeds, and there are no paths for people to walk on. The ancient trees around block out the sun, and the swaying shadows of the trees make the entire forest environment look dark and deep. Among the group, half of the guards were leading the way in front, and the other half were guarding the rear. Lin Rong walked in the middle of the team. The old butler did the same, following Lin Rong closely. As for the secret guards, they naturally went to the front to explore the way and search for intelligence. While walking, Lin Rong took out the map from time to time to check it, wondering how long it would take to gain something. That's right, It's about how long it will take to reap the rewards, not whether you can reap the rewards because of this trip to the starred out Great Forest. Lin Rong did not plan to go back until he obtained the second soul ring. The team was not large. With only 14 people including Lin Rong and the old butler among these 14 people, except Lin Rong himself, the rest are at least a 4-ring soul master. Although Lin Rong's soul power is only level 20, with the old butler, the soul master, leading him on the journey, he will not become a burden to the team. Instead, it was the guards who slowed down Lin Rong and the other two's journey. Therefore, the team only advanced for half a day before Lin Rong decided to split the troops into 2 groups. The 12 guards formed one team, and Lin Rong and the old butler formed another team. The 2 teams searched separately. The guards were slow, so they searched the first half of the planned route. Lin Rong, accompanied by the old butler, hurried on the journey and went directly to search the second half of the planned route without the burden of the guards. The old butler took Lin Rong and hurried on their journey. A few hours later, Lin Rong and the other 2 arrived at the area where Oscar and the other 2 were. Xiao. Ao, your first soul skill is the soul power recovery sausage. Xiaotian put his hand on Oscar's shoulder and said, but in battle, what we face is not only the problem of soul power consumption, but also the various insidious and vicious means of the opponent, the most common of which is poison. Therefore, your second soul skill had better have the effects of detoxification and healing. In nature, there is a medicinal herb called Artemisia selingensis, which has the effects of clearing away heat and detoxifying, dispersing blood stasis and reducing swelling. When Artemisia selingensis becomes a plant soul beast, this effect will be even more powerful. It is the best choice for your second soul ring. When Xiaotian reached this point, he turned his head to Zhao Wuji. Also, Lao Zhao, Artemisia serrata likes a warm and humid environment. I'd like you to take the trouble to look for more places like this. There's a high chance that soul beasts like Artemisia serrata can grow there. Zhao Wuji, who was walking in front and clearing the way, said without turning his head, I know. You old man really ask for too much? The 3 of them searched in this way and indeed found a lot of wild wormwood, but their cultivation was not high, basically less than 100 years old. With a few being over 100 years old. Xiaotian expected Oscar's second soul ring to be around 500 years old, so the 3 of them passed over the wild wormwood plants that were over 100 years old and looked for their next target. Lin Rong was looking for bamboo and gourd vines that had mutated into special properties, and Oscar was looking for wild wormwood that was around 500 years old. These 3 plants all like warm and humid environments, and they are in the same area. Therefore, as time goes by, the distance between them is getting closer and closer. 2 or 3 hours passed in a flash. Somewhere in the Xingdao Great Forest, on the shore of a large lake, there grew a large clump of wild wormwood. These wild wormwoods grow tall and strong, just like trees. Oscar and the other 2 walked into the weeds and soon disappeared. The wild wormwood on the outskirts of this wild wormwood patch is over 100 years old. As the 3 of them go deeper, the age of the wild wormwood that appears is also increasing. 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. When they came to the center of the wild wormwood bush, they saw 3 wild wormwoods that were about 500 years old entwined around a sky blue bamboo. This bamboo is not tall, only about 1 meter long, while the wild wormwood around it is at least 3 or 4 meters tall. Thick sagebrush completely obscured the view of the area. If you don't come and walk in this wild wormwood bush, no one would have thought that there is a bamboo growing here. Xiaotian has lived long enough to know that the world is full of wonders, and he doesn't care why the bamboo grows there. He was only thinking about Oscar's second soul ring, so he told the 2 people around him, Old Zhao, thank you very much. Go and pull one of the 3 Artemisia SPP that is wrapped around that bamboo. Remember to be gentle, don't kill the wild wormwood. Xiao Ao, when Lao Zhao pulls that wild wormwood over here, you should rush over and give it a final blow while it's still alive. Got it, Zhao. Wuji waited for Xiaotian to finish speaking, then walked straight to where the bamboo was. 5 meters, 4 meters, 3 meters. The moment Zhao Wuji walked within 1 meter of the bamboo, a dazzling silver light flashed. The dazzling silver light made Zhao Wuji close his eyes subconsciously. When he opened his eyes again, the bamboo that was originally entangled by the 3 wild wormwoods had disappeared. Space Soul Beast. Space Soul Skills. Zhao Wuji was knowledgeable and quickly realized what had just happened. It is so intelligent that it actually knows to use this wild wormwood bush to hide its existence. However, the soul power fluctuations that the bamboo just exploded were very weak, only close to the range of 1,000-year soul beast. I've never heard of this kind of soul beast before. Could it be a new species that has mutated? End of this chapter. Chapter 20 surprises one after another. At the same time, somewhere 5 miles away in the wormwood bush there is a large area of gourd vines growing here, some of which are more than 900 years old. Lin Rong and the old housekeeper had just finished searching here and were about to leave. A silver light suddenly appeared in the center of the gourd vine. The next moment, in Lin Rong's life perception, there appeared a life fluctuation of a plant soul beast with a cultivation level of more than 900 and nearly 1,000 years old. Its sudden appearance must be related to the properties of space, and it's a plant soul beast with a cultivation base of nearly 1,000 years. God is really helping me. Lin Rong immediately stopped and said to the old butler beside him, "Grandpa Yu, take me back to the center of this gourd vine, quickly." After hearing this, the old butler did not ask the reason and did not give an answer. Instead, he took the young master back immediately. This gourd vine was not big, and with the old butler's full speed, Lin Rong and the others returned to the center in just 5 or 6 seconds. The less than 1 meter tall azure bamboo had just felt lucky to have escaped from the wolf's den when it saw Lin Rong and his companions returning. The swaying bamboo leaves suddenly stopped and stood there motionless. "Oh, you're quite intelligent." Lin Rong walked forward, getting closer and closer to the bamboo tree, and the old housekeeper followed closely behind. Such a rich and pure spatial force, and these 981 years of cultivation. Tisk, tisk tisk, it's a soul beast tailor-made for my second soul ring. The azure bamboo looked at the two people approaching, feeling like crying but unable to shed tears. The space soul skill it just displayed can only be used once a month. A few seconds ago, it used its space soul skill to escape from the wolf's den, but who knew there was a tiger's mouth here? The mutation caused it to develop extremely high intelligence and gave rise to great ambitions, with the intention of becoming a 100,000-year soul beast. Therefore, it has been using this ability to hide here and there for hundreds of years, and finally it has almost reached 1,000 years of cultivation. As long as its cultivation level exceeds 1,000 years, its special soul skill will evolve again. Not only will the teleportation distance be greatly increased, but the number of times it can be used each month will also increase, no longer limited to once a month. Damn it. It's only 19 years away from becoming a 1,000-year soul beast. Why am I so unlucky today that I encounter humans twice in a row? Could it be that the humans it encountered twice were from the same group? Well, that must be the case. Human beings are so insidious and cunning that they actually let one group of people consume its space soul skill first, and then this group of people wait here for the opportunity. If Lin Rong knew what the bamboo was thinking, he would definitely laugh out loud. Even if he is in the same group as Oscar, they don't know where the space soul skill will land, so how can they just sit back and wait for it to happen? Although Lin Rong didn't know what the bamboo in front of him was thinking, he could see through his life perception how intense the emotional fluctuations it emitted were, so he felt like teasing the bamboo, saying, with such high intelligence, it is not good to remain unknown. It's my second soul ring after all, so I'll help you pick a name. Given your special attributes and your azure appearance, I might as well call you Kong Kingsu. Then, Lin Rong released the 9-bend vine dragon, and countless vine dragon roots entangled Kong Kingsu, slowly tightening and strangling it. Don't be afraid of death. It's your honor to be my second soul ring. What an honor. Why don't you just die? Kong Kingsu cursed loudly in his heart, but his consciousness soon dissipated under the strangulation of the Tenglong tree roots. Not long after the words fell, a deep yellow soul ring condensed in midair. Upon closer inspection, there was a barely perceptible purple halo on the soul ring. Looking at the soul ring in front of him, Lin Rong couldn't help but feel particularly happy for a moment. Even the air we breathed became several times fresher, making people intoxicated. Lin Rong was not in a hurry to absorb the soul ring, but instead focused his attention on Kong Kingsu. Logically speaking, for a soul beast with such high intelligence, the probability of dropping a head soul bone should be quite high. Well, let's look for it. So, Lin Rong controlled the roots of the Tenglong tree and crushed the empty green bamboo, which was less than 1 meter long, into pieces one by one. When he stirred the top section of the empty green bamboo, Lin Rong sensed a small hard object appeared under the roots of the Tenglong tree. Suddenly, Lin Rong was delighted and controlled the roots of the Tenglong tree to hand the hard object to his hand. It was a round bone that was as crystal clear as jade, emitting a faint green and silver glow. It is indeed the head soul bone. Such a soul bone dropped by a top-grade soul beast, if it is not too young. Lin Rong secretly thought it was a pity and was about to put the soul bone away, but he seemed to have discovered something and stood there in a daze, his face full of shock. Can this soul bone evolve? Just now, Lin Rong sensed that the age of his soul bone had increased from 981 years to 982 years with this discovery. Lin Rong calmed down and carefully sensed the specific situation of this soul bone. Then he discovered that the head soul bone that fell from Kong Kingsu was actually slowly absorbing the life energy and space energy in the air, thereby increasing the age of the soul bone. It's not an external soul bone, but it has the ability to evolve like an external soul bone. A soul beast like Kong Kingsu can be compared to the thundering hell vine, which has the blood of the thunder god. This piece of Kong Kingsu head soul bone not only comes from the same origin as the second soul ring that Lin Rong is about to absorb, but the effect of absorbing them together will be maximized. Moreover, this head soul bone has both life and space attributes. Lin Rong is also very envious of it. If it were not too old, he would never give up this soul bone, but now, he knew that this soul bone had the ability to evolve. So the age limit was no longer a problem. There are 6 soul bones that a soul master can absorb in order of rarity. They are trunk bones, head bones, left arm bones, right arm bones, left leg bones, and right leg bones. Now, Lin Rong has confirmed that the skull soul bone is the soul bone produced by this piece of empty green bamboo. With this evolutionary ability, it will be no problem to evolve to 100,000 years in the future. Lin Rong already has a target in mind for the remaining 5 soul bones. However, one of the soul bones requires a certain amount of luck to obtain. If not, Lin Rong can only find another way. After staring at the soul bone in his hand for a long time, Lin Rong put it away and turned his gaze to the soul ring. It is unknown how long it will take to absorb the soul bone, but the soul ring can only exist for 1 hour. It will dissipate into the sky and earth after an hour. For now, I should absorb the soul ring first, and then consider absorbing the soul bone. Lin Rong walked to the soul ring and sat down, muttering to himself, I've encountered enough surprises today, but I want even bigger surprises. I hope the spirit ring can meet my expectations. End of this chapter. Chapter 21. Empty green bamboo. With the old butler guarding by his side, Lin Rong did not need to worry about his own safety and could concentrate on absorbing the spirit ring. The 9 curved vine dragon rooted in the ground quickly shrank and turned into a green light that appeared in Lin Rong's hands. After a few breaths, Lin Rong adjusted his condition to the best and summoned the empty green bamboo soul ring. The empty green bamboo soul ring was pulled and slowly floated above the 9 curved vine dragon, and finally was put on Lin Rong's martial soul. The power contained in the soul ring poured out into Lin Rong's body like a dam bursting. This power filled the danchan and formed a green and silver cyclone almost at the same time. This power surged into the danchan. There was no need for Lin Rong to actively refine it. His consciousness would instinctively circulate as is oozing. The green and silver-colored air currents circulate in the meridians and are gradually absorbed and refined by Lin Rong in the process. Although the age of the soul ring this time is much higher than the last time, Lin Rong is no longer the same person who only had level 10 soul power last time. Plus, he already had the experience of absorbing a spirit ring once. Lin Rong absorbed this soul ring faster than last time. Time passed by minute just as the process of absorbing the soul ring was about to end. The green and silver air currents that were almost completely refined by Lin Rong suddenly lit up with silver light. These silver lights flowed in Lin Rong's body and finally reached his spiritual sea of consciousness, condensing into the shape of Kong Kingsu's spiritual sea of consciousness. The spiritual power condensed a figure of Lin Rong, and looked at Kong Kingsu in front of him in great shock, and said with some doubt, Soul shock? No, even if the soul of a 10,000-year-old soul beast is vibrating, it is only a soul shock generated by resentment, and it will never form a soul entity. This made Lin Rong think, I thought Kong Kingsu was just too intelligent, but I didn't expect his soul power to be the same. Could it be that this Kong Kingsu is the legendary soul beast with a unique nature? Lin Rong admitted that he had miscalculated this time. He really didn't expect that the soul beast he encountered casually would have such an extraordinary background, but Kong Kingsu should be too happy too soon. If he wants to perish along with his enemy, he needs to have the ability to do so. While Lin Rong was thinking, Kong Kingsu's body was burning with silver flames, and then he turned into a stream of light and quickly approached Lin Rong. At the same time, Lin Rong's martial spirit is the 9 curved vine dragon on the trunk of the banyan tree. The banyan root in the shape of a real green dragon finally opened its long dormant green gold dragon eyes. Yan a long and loud dragon roar resounded throughout the spiritual sea of consciousness. The next moment the roots of the banyan tree in the shape of a green true dragon glowed with a light green light. The light condensed in the air and turned into a green dragon. The antlers are like a deer, the head is like a camel, the eyes are like a rabbit, the neck is like a snake, The belly is like a mirage, the scales are like a fish, the claws are like an eagle, the palms are like a tiger, and the ears are like an ox, majestic and extraordinary. After the azure dragon appeared, it rode on the clouds and blocked the path that Kong King Zhu had to take. Then he turned his body into a cage and imprisoned Kong King Zhu tightly under the dragon's body. Lin Rong controlled his body and floated above the empty green bamboo, looking down. Although Kong King Zhu was imprisoned and unable to move, the silver flames on his body burned even more fiercely. But it seemed unable to hurt King Long at all. This scene was reflected on the surface of the sea of consciousness. The shaking flames caused ripples on the surface of the sea and blurred the vision. Why? You can't figure it out. Lin Rong looked at Kong King Zhu's useless struggle with amusement and explained, let me tell you, humans can awaken their martial spirits at the age of 6. The awakened martial spirits are varied and all-encompassing. The martial soul I awakened is called Nine-Bend Vine Dragon, which is a fusion of my parents' martial souls, Dragon Soul Vine and Thousand-Leaf Banyan. Since it is a fusion mutation, it naturally inherits the characteristics of these two martial spirits. The characteristics of the thousand-leaf banyan tree are, first, its lush branches and leaves, and second, its well-developed rhizomes. You might as well think about what the characteristics of the dragon soul vine are. Knowing that Kong King Zhu could not speak, Lin Rong continued to speak by asking and answering his own questions. Of course it's the dragon soul, it's just that the martial soul has mutated. If I want to fully unleash the power of the 9-curved vine dragon, I need to absorb the soul rings of the two soul beasts, the thousand-leaf banyan and the dragon soul vine, azure vine. You can think of it as two seals. I need to absorb the corresponding soul beasts to unlock them. Only then will the 9-curved vine dragon martial soul be considered truly perfect. The dragon soul of the 9-curved vine dragon comes from the dragon soul vine. Therefore, if I want to call upon the power of the dragon soul, I need to absorb a spirit ring from the dragon soul vine. My first soul ring was absorbed from the thousand-leaf banyan tree, the second soul ring was you, the empty green bamboo, and the third soul ring was the dragon soul vine. That is to say, in the outside world, I cannot use the dragon soul power of the 9-curved vine dragon, but unfortunately, this is the spiritual sea of consciousness. What appears here is not the martial soul entity, but the martial soul origin. Therefore, in the outside world, the dragon soul vine is needed to carry the origin of the dragon soul, but here, it is not needed at all. After the explanation, Lin Rong looked coldly at Kong King Zhu, who had burned most of his soul power. He did not waste any more time, and King Long, who was in tune with his mind, took action to completely wipe out Kong King Zhu. Outside world, Lin Rong was enveloped by a beam of starlight, which was the old butler's first soul skill. Falling star. Gradually, Lin Rong's face, which had turned pale at some point, began to show a hint of redness, and his weak breathing began to return to normal. After returning to the outside world from the spiritual sea of consciousness, Lin Rong leaned on the old butler, gasping for breath, looking like he had survived a calamity just now in the spiritual space. Lin Rong was pretending to be calm in order to deceive Kong King Zhu. Although the dragon soul is powerful, the consumption is also enormous for Lin Rong at the moment. Moreover, using the power of the dragon soul before obtaining the third soul ring is not without side effects. The dragon soul that was forcibly summoned was unable to kill King Long the moment he imprisoned Kong King Zhu, because Kong King Zhu's soul power had just begun to burn at that time. All of King Long's power was used to imprison Kong King Zhu, and there was no extra power to kill it. If Kong King Zhu knew this, and gave up most of his soul power to break out of King Long's confinement, the remaining soul impact would be enough to cause irreparable mental damage to Lin Rong. There is even a great possibility that Lin Rong will become an idiot. Fortunately, Kong King Zhu was frightened by Lin Rong's words, and felt it was hopeless, so he did not choose to do so. Fortunately, Lin Rong's body was condensed from his spiritual power in the sea of consciousness, so he did not appear as pale as in the outside world. Otherwise, Kong King Zhu would know as soon as he saw Lin Rong's pale face that both sides were already at the end of their strength. No matter how brilliant and beautiful Lin Rong's words were, they were useless after this incident. Lin Rong realized before this, everything he experienced had gone too smoothly, so that although he appeared cautious on the surface, he had actually already developed arrogance and conceit in his heart. Kong King Zhu is so intelligent that Lin Rong should have expected this situation to happen, but the arrogance in his heart made him not take a soul beast whose cultivation was less than 1,000 years seriously. Fortunately, he managed to save his life this time, and Lin Rong also realized this. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, It means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 22, Onoba Mark. In mid-air, beams of starlight continued to fall. The old butler used all his strength to display his first soul skill, Falling Star. A few minutes later, bathed in the starlight, Lin Rong's complexion had regained its rosy complexion. At least on the surface, there seemed to be nothing wrong with her. Next, he only needs to practice the Cleansing Marrow Sutra and recuperate for 10 days or half a month to get through the weak period caused by the forceful use of the dragon soul power. Then, Lin Rong seemed to remember something and raised his right hand to look at the string of jade beads on his wrist. The string of jade beads on his wrist is a storage soul guide. This item consists of 12 jade beads and is called Green Dragon Vine. It has been passed down from generation to generation in the Lin family. These 12 jade beads are a warm jade white in color. If you look closely under the sun, you can see faint sky blue lines on the beads. Among them, the first and last 2 jade beads, as well as the 7th jade bead, have azure patterns on them that look like dragon patterns. The remaining 9 jade beads have azure patterns on them that look like vine leaves. There are 12 jade beads, each of which can store items, and the storage space is divided into 2 levels. There are 3 dragon pattern jade beads, each with 36 cubic meters of storage space, totaling 108 cubic meters. There are 9 vine leaf jade beads, each with a storage space of 12 cubic meters, totaling 108 cubic meters. The 12 jade beads have a total storage space of 216 cubic meters. Now, the head soul bone that Kong King's who dropped is stored in the 7th jade bead. Lin Rong's left-hand fingers touch the dragon pattern jade bead, as if he was touching the soul bone stored inside the jade bead. After what happened just now, Lin Rong no longer dared to easily take out the head soul bone dropped by Kong King's who knows whether that soul bone contains the remaining soul power of Kong King's who. Lin Rong is still in a weak period and cannot forcibly use the power of the dragon soul during this period. He cannot withstand another soul attack from Kong King's who. Only after going through this period of weakness and having the confidence of the dragon soul protecting him, will Lin Rong take out the soul bone stored in the dragon pattern jade bead. And before he absorbed this soul bone, he needed to ask the old butler to use the power of the stars to purify all the remaining soul power on this soul bone. Finally, let Duke Lin cleanse it thoroughly with pure life force. Only after ensuring that everything is safe will Lin Rong feel at ease to absorb this soul bone. The only loss of doing this is that the remaining soul power in the soul bone will be purified, and absorbing soul bones will not increase the soul power level. But Lin Rong didn't care. The remaining soul power on the soul bone comes from Kong King's who, and Kong King's whose cultivation has been less than 1,000 years. Therefore, the remaining soul power on the soul bone will only increase Lin Rong's current soul power level by 1 or 2 levels, which is harmless compared with one's own life. It is not worth mentioning, young master. You encountered an external soul bone when you absorbed a soul ring last time, and you encountered this kind of thing again this time when you absorbed a soul ring. After sighing, the old butler said seriously, for your safety, next time you absorb soul rings, don't absorb those mutant soul beasts that have never appeared before, so as to avoid this situation from happening again. After hearing this, Lin Rong turned his eyes away from Yeshu and replied in a slightly weak tone, don't worry, Grandpa Yu, I value my life more than you think. I will not absorb any future soul rings that are not from soul beasts I already know about. Besides, although this time was dangerous, it's a relief that I didn't return empty-handed. Kong King's who has extraordinary roots, and the second soul skill he obtained also exceeded my expectations. As he spoke, Lin Rong shared with the old butler the second soul skill he obtained from Kong King's who. My second soul skill is called Green Leaf Mark, and it is a top-grade space soul skill. Any living being or thing that is touched by me or the 9-curved vine dragon can be regarded as a target by me and marked with a green leaf. As he spoke, Lin Rong attached a green leaf mark to the old butler without releasing his martial spirit. While the mark is in place, I can sense the location of the marked target in real time. In addition, without releasing my martial spirit, I can actively trigger the mark on the target and teleport myself to the target's location. As soon as the words fell, Lin Rong triggered the green leaf mark on the old butler's body, teleported behind the old butler, and lay on the old butler's back and spoke. The green leaf mark can be attached to up to 3 targets at the same time, and 1 additional target can be attached for each additional spirit ring. At the same time, The maximum teleportation distance is 1 kilometer. For each additional spirit ring, the maximum teleportation distance increases by an additional kilometer, and the Aoba mark has no time limit. It will not dissipate over time as long as it is not actively triggered. While Lin Rong was speaking, he triggered the King Eye mark that he had left there before and returned there. He sensed the situation in his body and continued, as for the soul power consumption, every time you teleport, no matter how long the distance is, it will consume a fixed amount of 1/10 of your soul power. I now have 2 spirit rings, which can attach up to 5 green leaf marks at the same time. The maximum distance of a single teleportation is 3 kilometers. Under the best circumstances, I can now teleport 5 times in a row, 3 kilometers each time, and 5 times is 15 kilometers, but this soul skill has a disadvantage. People whose soul power level is 10 levels higher than mine or more can detect it and use their soul power to dissolve the mark on their bodies, but it is limited to oneself. You cannot find the green leaf mark on anyone other than yourself. After Lin Rong finished speaking, he found that the old housekeeper looked very calm, and he couldn't help but ask in surprise, "Grandpa Yu, how come you are not surprised at all by such an excellent spirit skill?" The old butler was silent for a few seconds. The evening breeze in the forest blew up his gray hair, and his old voice came to Lin Rong's ears with a wind, "Because I feel that no matter how powerful the spirit skill that the young master obtained with his life is, it is not surprising." The deep and genuine concern in the tone brought Lin Rong's memories back to the past. "Since I traveled through time, except for the time in the womb, at all other times, the old butler was almost always by Lin Rong's side, taking care of him. People's hearts are not made of iron." After all these years of care, Lin Rong truly accepted this loyal old housekeeper. He used to look like a child in order to avoid being discovered that he was a time traveler, but the meticulous care of the old housekeeper allowed Lin Rong to have a childhood without regrets, making up for the regrets of his previous life. Therefore, Lin Rong showed the innocent side of her character to the old butler without reservation. The old butler is also the only person he can truly trust in this strange world, except for the fact that he couldn't tell the old butler about the time travel. Lin Rong would not hide anything else. The old butler wanted to ask. Lin Rong recalled what had happened before. Tears dripping silently from the corners of her eyes with his vision blurred by tears, the old butler stretched out his fingers to wipe away his tears. "It's really nice to have an elder who truly cares about you by your side, really." End of this chapter. Chapter 23. 5 Colors. Xiandao City, somewhere unknown in the dim light, a mysterious man wrapped in black clothes stared at what was in front of him, and his gentle voice echoed in this small space. "Is the thing on the table colorful? I've been refining it for so many years, and I finally let you refine it." Clank clank. There was a sound of metal rubbing against a floor in the darkness, and soon a man wearing handcuffs and leg irons walked out. The man was incredibly thin, with sunken eye sockets. His throat moved, and a hoarse, low voice rang out, "Yes, the 7 kinds of medicine on this table are the forbidden poisons of our tribe, the 7 colorful ones. These 7 drugs are non-toxic when used alone. Even if they are mixed together, if any one of them is missing, it won't be toxic. The body will just be corroded by the drugs. Once you take all 7 drugs, the toxicity will set in immediately. It's not severe at first, but the poisoned person will feel extremely painful because the colorful lights will continue to corrode the poisoned person's vitality until his life ends. It's just that your men had already tested this on living people before presenting it to you." "Why are you asking me? Oh, are you serious?" After hearing this, the man in black turned his head to the side, where 2 figures were standing in the shadows. One of the figures saw the black-clothed man's gaze sweeping over him, and immediately knelt on the ground and said, "Young master is very busy, so I will not report back until I have confirmed the authenticity of this item. Therefore, I acted on my own initiative. I hope that young master will forgive me." Seeing this, the man in black raised his hand and signaled the man kneeling on the ground to get up. "Uncle, what you said is not true. It's always right to be cautious in everything. Besides, you are also thinking about me, so you are innocent. Anyway, this thing needs to be tested. Only after its toxicity is clear can I use it with confidence. It doesn't make any difference whether I test it earlier or later." Afterwards, the man in black looked at the man in handcuffs and shackles with a scrutinizing look. The man's clothes were torn and gave off a strange smell, and all of his exposed skin showed signs of corrosion from something. There were calluses on the wrists and ankles, and it seemed that the handcuffs and shackles had been worn for many years. His face was hidden by his loose white hair, revealing a pair of eyes with deep sunken sockets in this dim environment, which looked very creepy. What? You don't want to think about it again. The gentle voice of the man in black reached the man's ears. Submit to me, and not only will you be able to survive, but you will also be able to provide support for your family. This is the greatest honor, haha. The man laughed dryly and answered in his hoarse and low voice, I don't ask to live, but I ask to die, so as to preserve my last dignity, but you promise me that if I help you accomplish this, you will not bring harm to my family. While saying these words, the man stared into the eyes of the man in black. However, the black-clad man's entire face was hidden under his hood, and it was difficult to see clearly in this dim environment. Of course, the man in black saw the man staring at him, but he was not angry. Instead, he turned around and said to the man with his back to him, this young master is a man of his word. Your family is nothing but a bunch of losers. It's not worth a fight. As long as they don't commit suicide and don't go against me, the past will be written off. But before that, I need to confirm it again. The man in black turned around abruptly and his tone changed. Are you really the only one who can make this colorful thing? And no one except you and your brother can recognize it? Clank clank. The man walked forward dragging the chain and said, of course, I, Yang Wuxiang, have always been honest and never lied to anyone, but he secretly thought, the seven-colored poison is a forbidden poison of my Poi clan. According to the ancestral teachings, my brother can refine it, but he doesn't know how to refine it. Therefore, this old man is not lying. On the surface, the man who called himself Yang Wuxiang continued, I provided you with a poison before, but no one could figure it out, right? So, you can rest assured that my brother is far away in the Douluo Empire and will not and cannot interfere in the affairs of the Shan Dao royal family. As long as I die, no one in this world will know the name of this poison is seven colors, let alone be able to detoxify it. The man in black had no idea that the man in front of him was playing a word game with him, and he just waved to the side. The two figures in the shadows received a signal, and one of them stepped forward and conjured up a spear out of thin air, and 9 soul rings appeared under his feet one by one without hesitation. The spear pierced the man's heart, ending his life. Humph! You actually rejected the young master's offer. You really deserve to die. At this time, another figure in the shadows also stepped forward, saluted to the man in black and said, young master, shall we start giving Ziyi the seven-colored meditation now? No. The man in black refused bluntly and explained, my foundation is not stable at the moment, and there are not enough ministers in the court to support me. If Ziyi rashly lets something happen, and Zhu Xing supports the avalanche at all costs, we are still at risk of failure. At this time, the figure withdrew the spear from the man's body and interrupted, young master, if it were you, I would just kill the snow star and the avalanche that are in the way. By then, you will be the only candidate for the next emperor, stupid. After hearing this, the man in black threw his sleeves, turned around and stared at the figure, scolding, since ancient times, the struggles among the royal families have always been extremely dangerous. Even if one dies, it is because one is inferior to the other in skill. So, when my second and third brothers died, as the biggest beneficiary, even if I was suspected, no one dared to bring this up in public without evidence. But everything has its bottom line. As long as my fourth brother Zhu Bang is still alive, I will not be the only candidate for the throne. This is the emperor's way of balance. I can be Zhu Yi's best choice, but I can't be his only choice. So, Avalanche can be a dandy, incompetent, and can even use this to highlight my excellence, but he must not die. If Zhu Bang dies, Zhu Yi will give me more brothers. She might even change the position of crown prince to warn me. Therefore, we should maintain the status quo and take things step by step to be sure of success. In the darkness, the figure that appeared later waved his hand and patted the scolded figure on the back, and comforted him. Young master is teaching me that old Shi is used to using brute force, and his brain is not very smart. I hope young master will forgive me. It's okay. The man in black stopped the two men. There is a certain order of learning, and there is a specialization in the art. The emperor's mentality is not suitable for ordinary people. Besides, martial arts are the strengths of my two uncles. Even I, because I was distracted by government affairs and political tactics, greatly delayed my progress in cultivation. Okay, I can't disappear in front of people for too long. I have to go back quickly. As soon as he finished speaking, The man in black put away the colorful things on the table and disappeared into the secret room. End of this chapter. Chapter 24. The sea is vast and the fish jumps. The border between the kingdom of Sylves and the Xingluo Empire. On the wide official road, a carriage was speeding and entered the territory of the Xingluo Empire. This is a spacious and elegant 4-horse carriage. The chassis of the carriage is made of fine iron, and there are 16 thick springs underneath to filter out bumps. This structure allows the carriage to remain stable even when running on a rugged mountain road. Not to mention that the carriage is running on a flat official road. The only drawback is that the carriage is too heavy and requires at least 4 horses to pull it. This kind of carriage is the masterpiece of the Li clan, and is quite popular among the powerful and wealthy in Xiandao City. Before the Li clan joined Tang San in selling hidden weapons, the income from the after-sales maintenance services of this type of carriage accounted for more than 20% of the Li clan's total annual income. Ever since Tang San gave the forging blueprints for the hidden weapon parts, the disciples of the Power Clan have been busy forging the hidden weapon parts, and most of the previous business has been cancelled. Naturally, the 4-horse carriages are no longer manufactured and sold. However, they dare not cancel the after-sales maintenance service of Troika. This is because most of the dignitaries in Xiandao City have bought this kind of 4-horse carriage. If the after-sales maintenance service is cancelled, it will offend almost all the powerful people in Xiandao City. Things are rare when the Li clan no longer built 4-horse carriages. This type of carriage became a symbol of status in Xiandao City. Among them, the customized models are only available to a very small number of nobles and high-ranking officials. After leaving the official road, the carriage drove into the rugged wilderness road. On the carriage a cool breeze blew, the curtains fluttered, and lifted the strands of hair on Lin Rong's forehead. He looked at the distant scenery outside the window with a relaxed and natural expression, appearing to be comfortable and leisurely at this time. More than a month has passed since the hunt for the second soul ring in the starred-out Great Forest. Lin Rong's soul power level has reached level 23 when he absorbed the 981-year-old Quang Kingzhu soul ring. His soul power was raised from level 20 to the peak of level 22, so a few days ago, he naturally broke through to level 23, and the head soul bone dropped by Quang Kingzhu, which can absorb the 2 forces of space and life in the air, was successfully absorbed by Lin Rong safely. Before absorbing the soul bone, everything was naturally as planned. First, let the old butler use the power of the stars to thoroughly purify the soul bones. Perhaps something unexpected happened when Lin Rong absorbed the soul ring twice. The old butler, who was still frightened, actually used his 7th soul skill, Star True Body, when purifying the soul bone. To ensure that the soul bone could be thoroughly purified after unleashing the Star True Body, the power of all soul skills except the 7th soul skill increases by 100%. While the soul power consumption is reduced by 50%, however, there will be a 7-day ban period after use the rich and pure power of the stars purified the remaining soul power in the soul bone almost instantly. But the old butler was still worried that there were still traces of Quang Kingzhu's soul in the soul bone, so he purified it repeatedly several times, and only handed the soul bone to Lin Rong after confirming that it was correct. After the old butler finished the purification, Lin Rong took over the soul bone, released the 9 curved Vine Dragon Martial Soul and the Vine Dragon Domain, and used pure life force to thoroughly refine the soul bone. After completing all the above steps, Lin Rong began to absorb the head soul bone with confidence. During this period, the old housekeeper maintained the state of the star's true body. If Lin Rong encounters any accident, he will leave and use his 1st soul skill with double effect, Falling Stars, under the state of Star True Body, to heal the young master. Fortunately, no accidents occurred during Lin Rong's absorption of the soul bone. This really made the frightened old housekeeper feel relieved. Grandpa, do you think that this trip to the Xingluo Empire will go smoothly? In the carriage, Lin Rong lay on the window sill, turned his head to look at the old butler beside him, and asked softly. The old butler was sitting on the cushion on the side of the carriage, peeling fruit with a knife in his hand. On the table next to it was a fruit plate that was almost ready. After hearing the question asked by Lin Rong, the old butler did not stop his actions and answered in his usual gentle tone, although by his arrogant and stingy, as the patriarch of the Min clan and having lived to ripe old age, he is not someone who is ignorant of current affairs. Besides, the young master is sincere this time. It's just a ginseng that can only be used as a family heirloom. Whether for the sake of face or for the sake of money, the old fellow he can't find a reason to refuse. While they were talking, the old housekeeper prepared the fruit plate and handed it to Lin Rong. Yes, I hope that old guy can understand the current situation, otherwise, when Lin Rong said this, a cold light flashed in his eyes, and he picked up the spoon and scooped a spoonful of fruit to taste it. Although the Min clan's sharp-tailed swift spirit has no lethality, Bai is a soul Douluo after all. Even though his soul rings and soul skills did not give him attacking soul skills, he could easily capture Lin Rong with one hand with his soul power of over level 80, and because Bai is the fastest man in the world, even if the old butler is by Lin Rong's side, he cannot guarantee his safety. The thing in Bai's hand, as well as the subsequent matters related to the Pazi clan, are extremely critical links in the plan and must not be lost. But after all, you only have one life. Once you die, the passive skill of the attached soul bone, banyan heart, will be triggered, and you will have to wait for a long cooling period before you can have a second life to die. During this period, Lin Rong died and was really dead. Therefore, Lin Rong was anxious to acquire space soul skills as a trump card to save his life. Only if his special soul skill is strong enough, he will have the confidence to find Bai to negotiate a deal. As for meeting Kong Kingzhu, it was completely unexpected. Although the spirit skills he obtained were very much to Lin Rong's liking, if you were allowed to choose again, perhaps, well, after knowing the soul skills bestowed upon him by Kong Kingzhu, he will still absorb Kong Kingzhu's soul ring. But he will do more preparatory work. After all, he cherishes his life, but he still has the courage to take risks because of the life-saving skill of King Gai Mark. Not only did it give Lin Rong the confidence to deal with Bai calmly, it also gave him the confidence to find Yang Wudi of the Pazi clan. In the past, people only had one life, so Lin Rong was timid in doing things, and some plans had to be delayed. But now, he has the green leaf mark to save his life, and the banyan heart's transplantation to back him up. In this big world, where can he not go? There are two main things happening in the Douluo Empire at this time. First, he tried to seize the crystal blood dragon ginseng in Bai's hand, which was related to the true form of his martial soul with the future seventh soul ring. Secondly, try to trade for the herbal illustrations of the Pazi clan from Yang Wudi, which records the methods of picking immortal herbs. But it would be best if we can get it this time. If not, Lin Rong has other ways. The most important thing is that there is another matter that requires the help of the Pui clan. End of this chapter. Chapter 25 Conspiracy. Surrounded by mountains, shrouded in clouds and mist, with birds singing and trees providing shades on the top of the mountain, there is a gurgling spring, which flows into the cold pool at the foot of the mountain. Beside the cold pond is an extremely simple village. As beautiful as the scenery is, the village is simple and shabby. The only thing that can be mentioned alongside the scenery here is the plaque at the entrance of the village, on which are engraved two powerful large characters. Bai Fu. When the Xiaotian sect faced the oppression of the Spirit Hall, they chose not to fight and moved their entire sect to the back of the mountain where Jin Daolio had sworn an oath, and have lived in seclusion ever since. The four single attribute clans that were vassals of the Xiaotian sect also went their separate ways in order to avoid being hunted down by the Spirit Hall of the four major families, except for the Li family, which moved to Xiandao City. The other three families moved to the Douluo Empire, where the influence of the Spirit Hall was the weakest. The Power clan is good at forging, the Defense clan is good at construction, and the Destruction clan is good at refining medicine. These three families quickly gained a foothold in the migration areas by relying on their respective strengths. The disciples of the families did not live a rich life, but they were far above the well-off level. Only the Min clan had a hard time. Bai, the patriarch of the Min clan, and Yang Wudi, the patriarch of the Po clan, have a very good relationship, and their personalities are somewhat similar. Yang Wudi is conceited and self-willed, Bai is aloof and self-righteous, but the difference between the two is Yang Wudi is so conceited that he really has the confidence in terms of strength. He is able to challenge title Douluo with his soul Douluo cultivation alone. His skills in refining medicine and poisons are the best in the entire continent. As for Bai, he is truly aloof and noble, just because of his simple character. But this kind of person is not suitable to be the head of a clan. The disciples of the Min clan live in such poverty. Not only does Bai have no ability to solve the problem, but because of his own arrogant nature, he does not allow the disciples of the clan to go to the Wuhan Hall to receive the Soul Master subsidy. Even more than half of the clan's financial resources come from Yang Wudi's occasional assistance. Even so, they could only barely maintain a balance between income and expenditure and live a frugal life. In front of the village gate, under the old tree, there was an old man who looked very old, basking in the sun there and acting as a gatekeeper. The old man was enjoying the sun when he suddenly saw two figures walking into his sight. Then, one of the old men showed his 8 spirit rings without saying a word. And then a clear voice reached his ears. "My lord, the Duke has something to ask the noble chieftain Bai, so please go and tell him." Even though the person speaking in front of him looked very kind, the old man's attention was all on the 8 soul rings under that person's feet. Therefore, The old man did not reply, but immediately activated his martial spirit and rushed into the depths of the village. 1. White and 2 yellow, level 37, but with a speed comparable to that of an ordinary agility attack Soul King. Is this a pure agility Soul Master? Lin Rong looked ahead thoughtfully, thinking, the speed that the Min family is so proud of is indeed well deserved. Not long after, the old man came back, performed a set of standard aristocratic etiquette, and said, "Two distinguished guests, our clan leader invites you." Walking into the village, Lin Rong looked around calmly, taking in the scene in the village. Most of the people in the village are the elderly, women and children, but adult men are rare. Thinking back to the farmland we passed by, I guess the men working the land there must be the majority of the labor force of the Min clan. Although Lin Rong had anticipated this situation, he still felt a little sad, thinking silently in his heart, I didn't expect that the proud Rumen clan also learned to cultivate the land due to their difficult life, but since Bai chose to build the village in such a remote place, it was ultimately because he wanted to save face and suffer. He didn't want outsiders to see the miserable state of the Min clan. It took me a long time to find this place. I asked around before I found it. The village was not big. After walking for a while, the old man brought Lin Rong and the old housekeeper to the largest building in the village. Standing in front of the building was an old man with a well-proportioned and tall figure, white hair and a youthful face. This person is the patriarch of the Min clan. Bai He looked at the two people who came uninvited. His eyes passed by Lin Rong and stopped on the old butler Yu Yuan. I suddenly felt that this person seemed familiar, but for a moment I couldn't remember where I had seen him. However, there was a sense of deja vu, and most likely it was someone from Xiandao's side. A duke, plus followers with Soul Douluo cultivation. This seems to be the Xiandao Lin family. Yes. He had seen this person from afar at a banquet hosted by a noble. I heard that Duke Lin died in a beast tide and left behind a posthumous child. Could it be the child in front of me? After figuring out the identities of the two people in front of him, Bai asked in confusion, I don't seem to have any connection with the Lin family. I wonder what brings young Duke Lin here from afar. Did you guess it? Lin Rong suppressed his surprise, pretended to look around, and said, does Chief Bai plan to entertain guests here? The person is not good. For some reason, Bai had this idea in his mind, but when he thought that there was a Soul Douluo standing next to Lin Rong, he had to make a gesture to invite him in. I almost forgot, this is not the place to talk, please come inside and talk. After the group entered the house and sat down, the Min clan served them tea according to the etiquette of hospitality. Lin Rong glanced at the teacup. There are quite a lot of tea leaves in the tea, but I don't know what the difference is between tea leaves and tree leaves. Thinking that it was almost time for dinner, Lin Rong didn't want to waste any more time here, so he got straight to the point and said, Patriarch Bai, we have come here uninvited because of the thing in your hand, the crystal blood dragon ginseng. When Bai heard this, he felt a lump in his heart and was about to deny it when he heard Lin Rong's voice, Patriarch Bai, don't rush to deny it. You know very well whether you have this thing or not. It was a crystal clear blood red ginseng with a 5-claw dragon pattern on its surface. The ginseng is about 5,000 years old, and you put it in a box made of top quality mutton fat jade. I don't think I need to explain it in more detail. For example, the crystal blood dragon ginseng is now in. That's enough. Bai slapped the armrest of the chair, stood up and asked, how did you know all this? Please answer me truthfully, does this matter? Lin Rong seemed calm on the surface, but in fact he was ready to trigger the king eye mark at any time. Once Bai got angry and attacked him, he would immediately teleport to the marketplace. Patriarch Bai, I am sincere. This is a bank card that is universal across the continent. It contains 1 million gold soul coins as the cost of my purchase of the crystal blood dragon ginseng. As he spoke, Lin Rong took out a gold card and used his soul power to catapult it to the most conspicuous place so that all the members of the Min clan present could see it. As long as Chief Bai agrees to the deal, these 1 million gold soul coins will be yours. After all, although ginseng is good, if it stays there, it won't allow your people to live a better life. If you want to sell it, with your connections, I'm afraid that Chief Yang, who knows the value of the goods, can't afford the price. Even if he can afford it, he probably doesn't know the value of the goods. I advise Chief Bai to think more about your people before you refuse. Do you want to agree to this deal and let your people live a prosperous life, or refuse and let your people continue to live in poverty? It All depends on your thoughts, and of this chapter, end of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.